Hey y'all. No. Hey, how y'all doing? We got Sarah in here. Hey Sarah. Hey Nicole. Hey Dreams. Speaking of dreams, happy Pisces season to all y'all. Happy birthday to all the Pisces up in here. Hey Evolving Love. Hey Tiana Marie. Scorpio forever. What's up? Hey Pisces Moon. Hey Don't Listen. Hey The Light. Hey Annie. I'm glad y'all were up with me. Hey Justin. My name. Going 60 in the third lane. We pull over to the parking lot. In the park, that's my favorite spot. Doing just about anything. We'll be going till the birds sing. Oh, yeah. Hey, Terica. Hey, Andre. Oh, your birthday's next Friday? Happy birthday. You're my baby. Can give me joy just like you do, babe. Hey, High Priestess. High Preempress. High Preempress. Hey. We're going to get into some Pisces, just some, trace of Pisces, the good, the bad, the scary. We're going to get into some Pisces celebs. Just waiting for this room to fill up a little bit before I get into it. Forever is what I want to give to you. Hey, King of Wands. Thank you for them yellow hearts. I like that yellow. Hey, Susie Q. What's up? I don't care what anybody say. Hey, Dana. No one can bring me joy. So your birthday was March 1st. Happy belated birthday. I hope you had some fun. Thank you, King of Wands. Let me put my cash app in case y'all want to get a one card reading. Donation is at least $5. Show you how I feel. Hey, Callie. Oh, you were sad. Why? Why was you sad, Susie? All about you. Ah, that's my jam. Avant and Kiki Wyatt. I think Kiki Wyatt does best when she does duets. She need a male voice to offset that all them runs and stuff she be doing. Thank you, Callie. Yes, hit the like button as you come in. We got 37 people in here. I'm going to wait till we have at least 50 people up in here before I get into some deep Pisces shit. Oh, you felt alone? Oh, but know that you're never alone. You're never fully alone. There's always, somebody with you in spirit, you can say. I feel that we all have some type of angelic force that's watching over us. And speaking of angelic forces, that is very much Pisces. So don't ever feel like you're alone because there is someone there, even if it's just in spirit. So always keep that in mind. Right? How many babies she got? Scorpio Forever said Miss Wyatt and all her babies. She got like 5 kids. I know she got some stepkids too. Lucky said never alone. Yup, I just started, Latasha. Yup, I just got it on and popping. Hey, young soul, how you doing? All right, we got 35 people in here. 2 people just dipped out. Guess they didn't like my singing. Hey, Ask Mahogany, thank you so much for the super chat. Do you have a question? Hey, my Bills, what's up? So you just got to work? Yeah, you can check me out on the replay. Oh, thank you so much, Knowledge Seeker. All right. Andre A said, my mom bought me the astrology book you'll ever need book as an advanced gift. Oh, that is nice. I always say that's a must-have for any astrology student. It gives you a nice rundown of the fundamentals and the principles of astrology and some extra stuff. So good, nice gift. And I like that your mom recognizes that you have an interest in astrology. That's what's up. Hey, Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. That was by Tony Basil. She really looks good for her age. She's like in her late 60s, maybe even like pushing on 70. And she was with the Lockers, those pop locker dudes. Yeah, she has a long dance history, choreographer, all that. Hey, Oro. Oro La Rosa. So let's see. We got 39 people up in here. So what y'all been up to? Like during this Pisces season, what have y'all been doing that's been very Pisces related? I've been having some vivid dreams, which is very Pisces. Does anybody interpret dreams up in here? Because I got a dream. I don't feel like it dealt with anything deep, but I don't know. The dreams that I do remember, I do be like, what the hell does that deal with? So I'm going to actually do a one card reading for myself right now and see what the dream that I had recently had to do with. All right, somebody just sent me a cash app. Thank you. So post your question. Let me see who that was. How about I cracked my phone the other, like a week ago. And I've had my phone for at least 5 years. Never had a crack in it until this one day. All right, so I'm going to pull a card for myself to see what that dream. I will say this. The dream ended with a slice of apple cake. And I'm thinking I must have made this cake because there was one piece left. And I wrapped it up in a napkin and I was heading out. But I didn't want nobody to know that I was leaving because it was a dinner party. So I want to see what that dream had to do with. So I'm going to pull one card. Hey, Coffee Reviews. Hey, Akeda. How you doing? So we got 48 people up in here. So look like I got 2 cash apps. So let's see. For Darius and Janae. So post your question. Yeah, Janae, what's your question? Thank you for the cash app. And while you're posting your question, I'm going to pull a card for this dream I had about this. Guess what it is? You know what I think it is? I'm going to tell you what I think before I even pull the card over. Because sometimes dreams deal with real stupid stuff, like real, like, menial shit. So I'm wearing these earrings that they have apples. They're these little apple earrings I have on. And like I said, the dream ended with me wrapping up this apple cake in a napkin and trying to dip out before anybody saw that I was leaving. For some reason, I didn't want people to know that I was leaving. So let me pull the card over. 9 of Cups. Now I think I know what that deals with. So that 9 of Cups, the 9 of Cups can represent, and it's a Pisces card. Isn't that interesting? The 9 of Cups can represent, I'm going to get to your question in a minute, so let me post it right here. The 9 of Cups can represent like having a lot of something being in abundance, a collection of something. So yeah, it was my cake though, I think, Sarah. I think I made the cake and I think there was one piece left. It was like a loaf cake and it was real moist. I remember in the dream. Okay, King of Wands, I got you. So yeah. So like I said, I'm wearing these apple earrings that I haven't worn in like a couple of years. And I love these apple earrings. They're so cute. They're like made with acrylic and they're kind of translucent. And then there's these little green leaves on top. Real cute. Now, the 9 of Cups is representing all these earrings that I have that I haven't been wearing for years. So I believe that dream I had is just dealing with the collection of earrings that I have. And just this week, I was sorting through all the earrings and I put them all together. Like I organized my earrings and I was like, I'm going to start wearing my earrings more because I'm putting them to waste by not wearing them. So I think the apple cake is symbolizing the apple earrings I'm wearing right now, but it really deals with where I have this issue with clutter at times. And what's interesting is I wrapped the cake in a napkin and my earrings are in these mini Ziploc bags. You know, those people that do cocaine, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know how you could get them mini Ziploc bags? Well, I put them in these little mini Ziploc bags because when I used to sell jewelry back in the day, I would put the jewelry in these mini Ziploc bags, the earrings and like rings and stuff. So that's what I did this week. And my progressed moon is in Virgo. So I have been getting more of a hankering to get more organized. So I didn't mean to, go deep into that like that. But yeah, that's what that 9 of Cups is symbolizing. So that's cute. Okay. Yes, I did. Scorpio, you picked up on that. All right. So Janae asked, will my Pisces male friend ever come back? Will my Pisces male friend ever come back? Come back to you. It's back to you. Will he come back to you? Come back to you. Always come back to you. That's what he's singing right now. While he's slumped over in a corner all drunk and shit. It's like, let me stop. Okay, I got the 7 of Swords, which to me tells me he's dipped out for a minute, but he'll be back. Yeah, he'll be back. So don't worry, don't sweat it. Just let him do his little thing right now. He, doing some sneaky shit or whatever. But you're saying friend, so I don't think it's anything like where you would consider that cheating. But yeah, he's off doing his own little thing right now. So just let him be and he'll be back. All right, King of Wands. Yes, them dime bags. I had a whole box of them. King of Wands said, what does it mean to have a T-square with my Aries ascendant, Venus in Scorpio, and Moon in Leo? So let me see. So Aries and Scorpio, so that's dissociative, and then Moon in Leo. So you got a dissociative T-square going on. So I would really want to look at your chart to see what that's really dealing with. But if you're just talking about those signs in general, you could have problems being, or I'll say, exercising your free will and independence in a relationship because of that Venus and Scorpio could be, attracting women that are looking to really form tight bonds with you, but then you're really going to still want to be your own person, want to be your own individual. And also you're going to want to exercise your free will. So let me just pull a card for you just to get down to the nitty gritty of what that could be symbolizing. So just like I said, it's dealing with issues with relationships, Ace of Cups. That could deal with where you start off really digging a person, but then it gets too heavy. And then you might break things off, but then you might revisit it. It's a lot of touch and go with that aspect right there. But the one thing you got to make sure is to maintain your independence and your individuality and to not compromise your integrity for the sake of a relationship. That's the main lesson to be learned with that combination. So you got that 4th house Leo moon. That could be a woman that's all up in your business, trying to move in all quick, leaving, like being slick, leaving underwear over and stuff, leaving a bra under your pillow and shit like that. Venus and Scorpio in the 7th. That could be hard to be in a monogamous relationship right there. That could be really challenging on both sides. On one hand, you could be the one cheating. On the other hand, the woman could be the one cheating. I'm just going to say, just don't trust the women that you attract at face value. I'll just say that because they could have a hidden agenda. And they could try to play you, especially with that Leo moon. You got to think about it. When you got a Leo moon, you got to say it's either I'm going to be playing somebody or they're going to be playing me. Who's it going to be? Because there's going to be a lot of playing going on. And a lot of times that Leo moon can deal with where you get with a real bossy chick that's going to be very demanding and that's going to be a ball buster. So choose wisely, I say. Hey, Awkward Letter, how you doing? Oh, you're welcome, King of Wands. Who else we got in here? Hey, Tara. Kit Kat. God, you're going to have me thinking about a Kit Kat. But those regular candy bars, they don't really do it for me anymore. I'm kind of burnt out from them. You know what I'm saying? You know how you had a favorite candy bar back in the day? And I would like change it up. Sometimes I'd be on the Snickers tip. Other times I'd be, really getting down on the Kit Kats. But these chocolate candy bars, the mainstream ones, they don't do it for me anymore. Maybe I'm getting a little bougie. Awkward Letter said Taurus people love Kit Kats. That snack, that texture. Kit Kats are the shit. I would have to say they're one of my favorites if I had to choose one. King of Wands, you say you don't care much for those candy bars now. Yeah, I don't either. Maybe they are like starting to skimp on the quality. I know they're hella expensive. So you like that matcha Kit Kat? Is it good? Snickers used to be my shit. I used to love Three Musketeers. Oh, we got 61 people in here, so we can start getting into it. I used to love Three Musketeers. Milky Way was my shit when I was a kid. Everybody, because Pisces can be a really sweet sign. So let's throw up, what was your favorite candy bar as a kid? Either was a candy bar or some type of taffy. I'm trying to think, what was my number one? As a kid, my number one was Milky Way. I'm going to put that in there because it had that combination of the nougat with the chocolate and the caramel. Milky Way and then Three Musketeers was a close second. Don't Listen said Lint is the best. Awkward Letter said I love mint Kit Kats. Pisces with Pride said Lint. That lint is like extra gooey when you bite into it. So Latasha, you like the Payday? You liked all those nuts and that salt? Payday is good every now and then. Wow, you like the Zero? Wait a minute, who liked that Zero? I just saw Mickey. You like the Zero? I never tried Zero. Is that like a pure white candy bar? Oro said Ferrero Rocher. Oh, you like that Nestle Crunch, Florida? Nestle Crunch used to be the shit. Almond Joy was good. Denise said Almond Joy. Pisces moons are very sweet people. Awkward Letter said Pisces moon over here. Love Twix. Hey, Hidden Tower. Chico Stick. That's different. I think I only had a Chico Stick once. They're pretty, aren't they kind of taste like Butterfingers? Butterfinger. Oh, I used to love me a Butterfinger. Who else loved Chico Sticks? Susie loved Chico Sticks. Yes, a young soul. I feel you on the Butterfinger. That was my shit. Kit Kat said, I hate the chocolate bars with snot nose coming out. What? Like the caramel you talking about? Remember that Caramello? Caramello had a bit too much of that caramel just spilling out. That shit would get all over you. But they used to market that shit hard back in the 90s. Remember that Caramello? Hey, Vela. Thank you for your super chat. So Vela said, hey, Rahbinah, I've been feeling weird sensations on my butt, and I think I might have a spiritual attachment. Can you tell me if I have one and if it's evil? All right, let's see. What's going on with that bootay? So you said weird sensations on your butt. Like where on your butt? Your whole butt? Come on, talk to me now. And speaking of butts, we're going to get right into one of these current events. And some of y'all might already know who I'm talking about. After I do this question. So you said you've been feeling weird sensations on my butt, on your butt. I think I might have a spiritual attachment. Can you tell me if I have one and if it's the evil? Also, put out your birthday. You don't have to put the year. Just put the month and the day. So I can see if you're just naturally susceptible to some type of spiritual infestation or attachment. Susie got it. All right. Something going on with your butt. And what do you mean, like weird sensations? Like, what does it feel like? New sensation. I got the 7 of Wands. Let me type that in there. That 7 of Wands makes me think that there's some type of infection going on, but not, and it might be on a spiritual level. So you might be right about this attachment. It's definitely something that's irritating you. Where you at, Vela? What type of sensation does it feel like? Like, describe it. I'm trying to find you. Pisces with pride said she reattached it. Nicole, I love me some Pisces moons. Y'all so sweet, sweetie pies. That's what y'all are. Except for the men. Them Pisces moon men can kick rocks. No, I'm just playing. No, but some Pisces moon men can be a little creepy. The light said Snickers. Where you at, Vela? I want to know what this sensation feels like, so I can give you some more insight. But yeah, there's something going on in terms of you dealing with something that is attacking you. I'll say something. It's like you can even say it's some type of, again, I don't want to say infection per se, but it's something that's dealing with your nerves as well. Thank you, Knowledge Seeker. I'll get to your question in a minute. I want to see what Vela has to say. All right. Vela, you said, and I could even feel it humping on me, no lie. Is this happening when you're laying down in the bed, or is this happening anytime during the day? And did you put out your birthday? Just the month and the day? Somebody said Twix. Twix ain't bad, but sometimes those cookies are a little dry. Oh, here it is, 7:15. Ooh, you're a 15. I was just talking about the number 15 and how the number 15 can be susceptible to curses, where somebody could put a curse on you. Do you have any enemies? Because like I said, it does seem like you're being attacked. Because 15s can result in somebody messing with you. Hold on, let me go back up here. You're a Cancer too? Oh, yeah. Cancers are just naturally, susceptible to spiritual involvement or spiritual influences. So if it's happening, especially if it's happening at night while you're in your bed, it could be one of those spirits that does like to, just taunt you. It's probably not serious where you're in any type of danger, but you might need some type of spiritual cleansing, some type of protection to be wearing. Yeah. So try to see what you can get to get some spiritual protection. Hey, Lilith, how you doing? All right. So who else we got? I think did somebody else post a super chat before? Okay. So your next, Knowledge Seeker. Thank you for your super chat, Knowledge Seeker. You said my relationship of 5 years ended with a black eye recently. He is a Pisces sun, Scorpio rising, and Aquarius moon. I'm Sag sun, Cancer moon, Pisces rising. Will I get my revenge? P.S. I'm an 8th house Scorpio stellium, so I feel you on the revenge tip. Okay, let's see. You know what they say. Revenge is a dish best served cold. So the more patient you are, the better. But let's see, will you be able to get your revenge? And I'm sorry you had to suffer that black eye. But at least it's over. Hopefully it's totally over, right? Sometimes that's the greatest revenge, when there's no chance of you going back to the fool. Sometimes that's all the revenge you need. All right. So I got the 10 of Wands, which means that you will get your revenge, but there's a lot you got to do to get it. And I don't even know if you really want to put forth the effort and the time involved, because there's some things you could do on a spiritual level. Let me see, you're a Pisces rising. Hell, you could do a lot of wishing, hoping, and praying and make some shit happen. Actually, that's what you should do, but that's what the Ten of Wands can represent. A lot of wishing, hoping, and praying, or it can deal with where you really get down to some gangster shit, which I wouldn't recommend. So I would just do a lot of wishing, hoping, and praying, and do it on a spiritual level. Hey, Taj, do it on a spiritual level where you just say, ask the universe to speed up his karmic debt, to make his karmic debt expedient. That's what you need to say. Start wishing and hoping and praying about that with that Ten of Wands, and eventually he will start to, suffer the consequences of his mistreatment of you. I'll put it that way. But yeah, you got to attack this from a spiritual way, and you have what it takes. So you got that Cancer moon, Pisces rising, and you're a Sag sun. And Sag suns, we are about that vigilante justice, so I understand. And a lot of times we do end up being able to get that justice just because of who we are. Because a lot of times Sagittarius is really righteous, not all the way, but I'll say in the heart. In terms of the heart, a lot of times Sagittarius is righteous or is kind-hearted. So when when people do you wrong, a lot of times the universe gonna handle that person anyway. It's happened for me a lot of times with me being a Sag. Sometimes all I gotta do is just sit back and let the universe deal with that person. I can't tell you how many times somebody did me wrong and then they've been fucked up in the game shortly thereafter, simply because the universe has heard my cry and saw my tears. That's all it takes. So know that it's already in the works, you can say, because it's already in your heart. And again, take it from a high road. Take the high road, which can be Ten of Wands too in some cases. Take the high road with this and ask the universe to teach him a lesson. Ask the universe to show him the errors of his ways, and maybe so that he won't do it to someone else. So therefore, you're coming from a position of beneficence instead of a position of hatred, resentment, because it's not good to hold on to that negative energy anyway. So if you release it and you say, with me releasing this negativity, I'm directing it back to him. And this energy, this negative energy that I'm redirecting back to him is going to come with some hard lessons and him having to pay back some karmic debt. And you make peace with it and move on with your life. So that's the way you got to do it, especially because you're a Pisces rising. Because with you being a Pisces rising, I was just telling, and this is one thing, we could get into this now about Pisces, because I was telling one of my students about Pisces and how with Pisces and Virgo, they are the anchors of the zodiac. So I'm saying this is true for people that have Pisces suns, Pisces rising, Pisces moon, hell, even if you got Mercury in Pisces. The universe will find a way to keep you in check some way, somehow, eventually, I'll say. Some people have a longer leash than others when they're Pisces or Virgo. Those are the two anchor signs. Virgo is the last of the personal signs. Pisces is the last of the interpersonal signs. So it's like y'all are given a heavy responsibility to keep things in balance. So when y'all do bad, when Virgo does bad, when Pisces acts up, when Virgo acts up, a lot of times they get caught. A lot of times they have to face quick karma. And that's because, again, y'all are held to a higher standard because y'all have to bring up the rear. So, yeah, that's why you really don't want to meet evil with evil in this case and like go down the wrong path with the revenge shit, because you could end up shooting yourself in the foot, which is very Pisces. So you don't want to get caught up like that being a Pisces rising. Again, let the universe handle it, but just do a lot of wishing, hoping, and praying. Wishing and praying and hoping. All right, so I hope I helped you out in that situation. Let's see what else people are saying before we get into these topics. Somebody talking about perverted spirits, right? There are some perverted spirits out there, and they are really coming out of the floodgates. Scorpio Forever said, oh, damn, spirits on a Cancer. That's why I'm glad I'm not dealing with a Cancer anymore. You can tell they always carrying something, right? Mochatel said, archons, maybe. Yeah, maybe there are these things that people call archons that are basically they're the ones that are controlling everything, and they hate humans. Susie says success is the greatest revenge. Of course, look at that big smile that Susie has on her face. That's an epitome of success is the greatest revenge. She's like, I'm living my life. I'm at the top of my game. You can't knock me down. That's how you have to approach it. Yes, just do better. And again, just have the universe, just ask the universe to show him a lesson. Lilith said mutable sign people need to watch out when they get with other mutable signs. Yes, because that's creating that square. Hey, King Jason. The light said true. I'm 815 and a guy tried to do black magic on me. See what I'm talking about with that 15? Gotta be careful with the 15. Scorpio Forever said, I'm learning, especially after watching Married at First Sight, is to stay single. It's so much better and peaceful. Yes, it is. It very much is. And one thing people got to keep in mind, if you get into a relationship with a Pisces, a lot of them want some time alone. A lot of them need a little escape. And it doesn't mean that, they're off doing something sneaky or, they're off cheating. Sometimes they just need to get away from it all. And that can even include you. So you got to understand that when it comes to a Pisces. And if they can't get away from it all, they might try to get away from it all through some type of drugs or alcohol. Somebody talking about order from Jimmy John's. Jessica, hey. Jessica said, yo, I ordered a sub from Jimmy John's and realized it didn't add the tip to my total. That I got the wrong damn sandwich. Like, damn, that karma was fast. Oh, damn. There you go. See, the universe keep your ass in check. That's what I'm talking about. Lil said, read this dude experience with succubus on the internet. He wrote that the spirit gave him head and it felt like static electricity. You know what? I believe him then, because that is the way that spirits can travel, is through electricity, that electromagnetic energy, which we're made of. So a lot of times when there is influence from the other side, it will come like through electricity, through a lightning bolt. That's why one of the common manifestations of paranormal activity is the lights flickering or light bulbs just busting. One time that happened to me. That happened to this guy that was installing this fluorescent light bulb in this house that I was renting. And the house had recently been in a fire. So the home got like partially remodeled. And the last day when they were doing the finishing touches, some crazy paranormal activity was happening there. A tooth just moved across this TV stand that I had. It was my son's loose tooth that I took out, and I put it on the TV stand to put for later to put it under his pillow for the tooth fairy. That just skipped across the table. And then right after that, the guy was holding a fluorescent light bulb, one of them long ones, and it bust right in his hand. And that shook him up because he was like, that's the first time that's happened to me. And he left shortly thereafter. And I was like, damn. So and that's only just a little bit of the paranormal activity I dealt with. But yeah, lights burning out, lights flickering. A lot of times the spirits do like to communicate with you through electricity. Logo said, reminds me of the movie The Entity. The electricity ghost kept coming after his wife. That movie was scary. I got the book because I love horror. I love horror movies. So I be trying to read the book of those horror movies that I like. So I have The Entity. The book is crazier than the movie, of course. Now, Sarah, you just sent me a super chat. Thank you, Sarah. So Sarah said maybe the newer guests should know about the 18 people. Well, 18s can be too much on the materialistic side, but not all 18s. Like if you're 18 and you're decent, you're a good person, you could attract a lot of dark-sided people. Hey, Daryl, how you doing? Happy Pisces season. Yeah. Moonlight Orange said electricity like movie Poltergeist and white noise. Now 18s can be hypersexual in some cases. I call 18 the murderous degree. If you see my other videos, 18 could be just caught up in money and that's it, money and status, too materialistic. They could forsake the spiritual side of life for the material. 18s can also be combative. There could be violence going on, abuse. 18s can also get into problems with their family as well. Ghost in the Machine, yeah. Watch a lot of those horror movies and stuff. You'll see that they use electricity a lot. Even like that movie Terminator. Remember, before the Terminator came into the earthly dimension, there was this lightning. And same with Reese. When Reese came into the earthly dimension, there was this lightning that brought him there. So yeah, a lot of times, and I was just watching Big Trouble in Little China. Anybody watch that movie from the 80s? I love that movie with Kurt Russell. Big Trouble in Little China. That movie's about Chinese black magic. And the way these guys are traveling through dimensions and using power is through electricity. So that electromagnetic energy, the sign Aquarius, but also Pisces, those are two non-personal, higher vibrational signs. And through those signs, we can access other worlds and other dimensions. Believe so. Believe it. Aquarius is the ether, and Pisces is that spirit world. Pisces is that dream world. And in that dream world is just as real as the world that we exist in when we're awake. So with that dream world, when you go to sleep and you have a dream, doesn't it feel real as shit? Have you ever had a horrible dream and you're struggling to wake up? I've had one of those dreams. All right, so let's get into some current events. Just 1 second. This is the first on my item list. How many people saw this movie since it's come out? Didn't it come out yesterday or something? Coming to America too. If you saw it, let me know what you think. I saw it last night and I finished watching it this morning. Look, the movie was so bad, my computer just shut down about like 40 minutes into the movie, and I had to watch the rest of it the next day. But I was not impressed. And you know, I love to laugh, and I didn't laugh a single time. I didn't laugh once. To me, it was whack. It was corny. It seemed forced. The jokes were terrible. Some of y'all might have liked it, but I did not like it. It seemed like Eddie Murphy didn't even want to be in the movie. It seemed like he was forced to do the movie, and I'm starting to think maybe he was. Maybe his master said he had to put a Coming to America 2 out, because from what I heard, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, they said that they were never going to do a Coming to America 2. Oh, good, Tara. I'm glad that you decided to watch me first instead. Didn't Arsenio look dry? I thought I was the only one, Deandra. He looked dry as hell. He looked as dry as a wheat thin. And Eddie Murphy, you could really see him aging. Eddie Murphy has a pot belly now. Nothing wrong with that. That comes with age. I'm just saying. But Eddie Murphy looked tired. Arsenio Hall looked tired. Who else? Oh my God. And that whack ass boy with the horrible wig that he was wearing in the first part of the movie. Yes, Parched, Daryl. First part of the movie, the boy that was supposed to be Prince Akeem's son, he was corny. Hair just whack. I was like really disappointed, but I wasn't really even expecting it to be even that good. But I was like, this is horrible. And that Leslie Jones too. She's annoying. Yes, they are getting old. Yes, he had a Tyler Perry wig on. Yes, he did, Daryl. It was shameful. Right? What I'm thinking they should have did, instead of having those old barbers, they should have had dudes that were like in their 30s or 20s in that same barber shop. They could have had it where young dudes bought the barber shop, but they were acting very much like the old dudes. That would have been funny. And they could have just made it up to date more. They could have had a young dude that had a plate of food, like the one that played by Arsenio Hall. They could have had the Jewish guy. I mean, I'm like, they didn't even think this through. They probably shot the film in 3 days. That's what it looked like. The only thing I liked about the movie was the costumes, as you can see here. The costumes was pretty on point. Whoever did them did a good job. But that was basically it. And it was like they was really reaching. They were struggling because not only did they have En Vogue in there, and it was a broke down version of En Vogue, because all I saw was Cindy, maybe Cindy and the other one. What was the other one? Dawn definitely wasn't there. It was Cindy. Why can't I think of that other one? Oh, I can't think of her name. Not Maxine. It was Cindy and the other one, I think. But there was 3 En Vogue chicks and one I never even seen before. Then they brought out Salt and Pepper's old asses. And then they even brought out Gladys Knight. They was really reaching. And then Morgan Freeman's old ass was there. He looked like he was about to die on the spot. But yeah, it was shameful. They need to just throw that movie away. Tyler Perry makes better movies than that shit. Scorpio Forever said, yeah, that's the Tyler Perry experience when you film on his lot. You only had 3 days. So this was filmed on Tyler Perry Studios? Just scandalous. Irrational said, the only thing that was funny is that they kept calling him the bastard son. Yeah, I almost like little bit of chuckle at that part. And I almost chuckled on the part when the old dude at the end, because I wasn't expecting to see the barbershop crew at the wedding. So that was a little surprise. And then when dude said, this boy's good, when he said that again about Randy Watson, I almost laughed on that part. But yeah, I was not impressed. I was not entertained. It was painful to have to get through. Mickey said it was brilliant. But yeah, to each its own. They tried to squeeze everybody up in that film. Everybody from the old film and then some new people too. Wesley Snipes, he's been looking scary for years. He actually didn't look too bad in the movie, if you ask me. He was kind of throwing that sex. Remember I said Wesley Snipes, he the type that kind of has you all screwed up in the head because one movie he looked real good, another movie he looked like stir-fried shit. So it's like you trying to figure out, okay, am I attracted to him or is this just a good film? So it was a bad film, and maybe that's why he didn't look so bad. Especially in that military get-up. I was like, okay, Wesley. Then they had Tiana Taylor in there. I never cared for her. They had James Earl Jones, but they killed him off early. You said I saw a video of him at the sugar factory in Los Angeles, and he looked super weird and overly vibed out. Wesley can get it all day. They had Vanessa still barking at, yeah, that part, I was like, come on, that was whack. I didn't think that part was funny at all. Basically, they tried to say she it was a curse. She kept barking after that for all those years. Self-Made said, is Hollywood making just remakes now since they got no ideas? Well, think about it. Neptune is in Pisces, right? And it's been in Pisces for quite a while now. Neptune and Pisces rules Hollywood. So maybe that's why Hollywood's all messed up right now. It's like it's just too much of that Neptune Pisces energy, and they're just going down they're going down the deep end with it. I don't know. But I don't think enough is being said about this Neptune and Pisces that's been going down for some time now. It's been messing up a lot of stuff like this. We got to talk about this too. Because we had another death recently. If I can even find it. Hey, what happened? I'm going to try to find it. Hold on. Oh, I got to pull it up. Hold on. Yeah, we had another death recently. You might as well say murder. And this very much has to do with this Neptune and Pisces stuff, but also Aquarius. So did y'all hear about this? The latest? Remember last time I went live, we were mourning Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. Now they coming for Mr. Potato Head. Scorpio Forever said, I really think in a minute we will no longer have good entertainment. I mean, they won't even release the Bond movie that was already made. Why? Because people ain't wearing masks in it. And Neptune and Pisces, that's the mask too. I'm done. Wait a minute. Simon G says Steve Harvey. That does look like Steve Harvey, doesn't it? But yeah, let me just read about this Mr. Potato Head situation right now. It said, Mr. Potato Head to lose Mr. title and gender neutral rebrand. A gender neutral makeover will see Mr. Potato Head become the toy formerly known as Mr. Potato Head. The classic toy's branding is being reimagined for the modern consumer. Its U.S. maker Hasbro announced on Thursday. From later this year, the toy, launched almost 70 years ago, will be named Potato Head on packaging. Instead of Mr. Potato Head, it's now going to be called just Potato Head. That sounds like a derogatory term. Mr. Potato Head sound much more nicer. This Potato Head, that sound like you making jokes on somebody. All right, so it said other toy companies have taken similar decisions in recent years, breaking with traditional gender norms. Hasbro is making sure all feel welcome in the Potato Head world. But wait a minute. Remember, didn't they have a Mrs. Potato Head? Yeah, he had a wife. They had Mr. Potato Head and Mrs. Potato Head. And if you wanted a gay couple, you would just buy two Mr. Potato Heads. Or if you wanted a lesbian couple, you would buy two Mrs. Potato Heads. I don't understand what the problem is. We had diversity with the potato heads as they were. So what the hell are they doing here? Are they saying he's not even going to come with a mustache right now? Let me finish. The company said the toy will allow children to imagine and create their own potato head family. Like I said, kids could already do that. However, in a later tweet on Thursday, the company said that Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head characters would still be available to buy, but didn't provide more details. And then in a tweet, they said, hold that taut. Your main spud, Mr. Potato Head, isn't going anywhere. While it was announced today that the Potato Head brand name and logo are dropping the Mr., I am, instead of saying I am, it says I am, like yam. I am proud, just to show you how crazy this board is. I am proud to confirm that Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head aren't going anywhere and will remain Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. So why do you need this gender neutral potato head when it has detachable parts and you can make that potato head into anything you want? You can make a monster potato head if you want. Mr. Potato Head was one of the main characters in Toy Story, an animated film series produced by Pixar and released by Walt Disney Pictures. In those films, Mr. Potato Head angrily reminds other toys to use his honorific in some scenes. That's Mr. Potato Head to you. You backstabbing murderer, the plastic spud said to Woody, the toy cowboy played by American actor Tom Hanks. Of course, Tom Hanks got to be behind this shit. I'm just playing. But yeah, isn't it ridiculous? Jessica Edwards says, so they just changed the brand to Potato Head? Ridiculous. Yes, because they want to be all inclusive. That term all inclusive is Pisces. So it makes sense that they did this during Pisces season. And as Pisces season continues to unfold, you can expect to see more of this all inclusiveness talk. Pisces is a hypersensitive sign. And with Neptune in Pisces, that's why we have the snowflake people. That's why we have people that are all in their feelings and with these microaggressions and all these people talking about, oh, my feelings are hurt. Oh, my God, I'm not included. I need to be included and all this stuff, all this all inclusiveness. And this just shows you how Pisces can get out of hand. Pisces is a very benefic, compassionate, empathic sign, but it has a dark side like all the other signs. So this is one of the signs of the dark side, being hypersensitive about everything, doing all of this virtue signaling. The term virtue signaling, very Neptune and Pisces. Yes, hypersensitive. And it gets disgusting after a while. And also, let's not forget, Pisces is the sign of the victim. So all of this victimhood status has really came to the forefront with Neptune and Pisces. So that victimhood status, this all-inclusiveness, the hypersensitivity, the snowflake generation, oh, my feelings are hurt. Whatever happened to sticks and stones might break my bones, but names will never hurt me. I mean, I know they can hurt temporarily, but what happened to trying to have a thick skin? It's like they don't want people to be tough anymore. Not even our immune systems. They want us to be tough anymore. When it comes to that, they don't want us to just tough it out and let our immune systems duke it out. Now we got to get shot up with everything. Now we can't even trust our damn selves. We can't even trust our breath. We got to be masked up. And shout out to Texas, because I heard Texas has basically undid the mask mandate. So I'm hoping Arizona is going to be doing that soon, because this shit's getting tiring. My rebellious side is starting to really come out. I'm starting to really feel like I'm going to act up in a store because of this mask. I just want to rip it off and just stomp on it and tell everybody else to take their damn mask off. Now, some of y'all people might still want to wear your mask, but that's fine. This shit should be a choice. It should not be mandated. Never in my life, and I'm pretty up there, I'm 45 years old, never in my life have I seen such shit where all these stores are just falling in line with this tyranny. And it's scary to me. And these younger generations, they're not going to understand what true freedom means. We really took for granted freedom. Just as early as 2019, things were so different. And now we got to act all scared. That's Pisces too. Pisces can be very fearful, and it can manifest as irrational fear. So that Neptune in Pisces is just drumming up irrational fear all over the place. One of the things you could do to try to mitigate this fear mongering is to stop watching the news. Stop watching CNN. Stop watching Fox. Stop watching your nightly news, because even beyond this whole virus thing, they're always sowing seeds of fear. Always. They're always telling you about these horrific stories. Like, we have to know this stuff. You realize that? It's like we have to know that this person stabbed this person 40 times and stuff, instead of knowing a lot about the good things that happen. But yeah, if you allow yourself to become too immersed into the media, and that word immersed, that's Pisces too. That's one of Pisces' potential downfalls, is to become too immersed in something where they're drowning in it, and now they can't come up for air. So it's the first anniversary for that damn word, that damn Rona. When you can't pay your rent on time, say damn Rona. When you can't go into the store without a mask, say damn Rona. When you can't get your flirt on because your mouth all covered and you can't pop your new lip gloss, say damn Rona. This is some bullshit. But I'm not even going to get deep into that. Let's get into our next story, our current events. Just 1 second. All right. So K. Michelle, who happens to be a Pisces, she was recently in the news, and not the major news, just, hip hop celebrity type news, because she was dancing. I'm about to pull up the video. She was doing a little dance in the mirror, and then her booty fell. How does your booty fall? Well, I'll tell you how. When you got them butt implants, when you got them silicone injections, yeah, your booty could just slip down and fall. So if you see this picture to the left, and do you see that sharp edge under her booty? That's her butt implant or whatever that is slipping down. And if you see to the picture to the right, and I'm about to play the video, she had to put it back in place. Then she had the nerve to come back, I think it was on Instagram or something, talking about, oh, y'all wrong for talking about me and stuff. I'm still healing. I'm still in pain. I got to deal with this every day. Then I'm like, why are you shaking it in front of the mirror, videotaping yourself, making a fool out of yourself if you're still recovering, if you're still healing? Because supposedly she recently had reconstructive surgery. So yeah, like Aura was saying, she had several surgeries to remove the injectable. So yeah, so now she's in the recovery period, but her butt is still janky. But she's recording herself dancing, and then that booty falls down. So I'm about to play this video. Hold on. Mind you, before I play this video, no, I'm going to play the video first, and then I'm going to add my point to this, because this has a Pisces theme to it. All right, let me make sure it's showing. Okay. So it might be kind of small, but y'all try to see it. All right, I'm going to play it. That's Cardi B song. Y'all see that right there, right there. Wait a minute, I'm going to pause it when it happens again. Oh no, this wait a minute, this Cardi B song is starting to grow on me only because it got a beat that I can dance to. I can't hear it too many times. I'm not trying to be a Cardi B fan, man, but that beat is starting to call me. I'm like, oh shit. I felt like getting up right now and just dancing, just like K. Michelle, but let's go. I know that's right. It's all right, K. Michelle. I get it. This beat make you want to shake it too. Hold on to that booty. There we go. There we go. All right. But y'all get the message, right? So basically, she shot herself in the foot, not just with this, but she shot herself in the foot to begin with by getting those booty implants, you know, in the first place. One thing about Pisces on the dark end, Pisces can shoot themselves in the foot, and Pisces can humiliate themselves. So that is what she's doing right in this video. She's humiliating herself. Darla said, once you see it, you can't unsee, right? But yeah, Jessica said, why would you post that though, unless it was live? I think it might have been live. Yes, it fell right down. It was like bloop. Scorpio said, ooh, that is nasty as fuck, right? I wonder what that feels like. Latasha said she has to be a triple Pisces. Well, let me pull up her chart. So I'm going to get into her chart a little bit. We're going to see what it is, why she is so hell-bent on, I was going to say mutilating her body, but I'll say enhancing her body or improving her body. Well, she got Mars conjunct Saturn, which can make her very hard on herself. It's in Libra, and that right there could deal with where she has a hard time with herself because she compares herself to others a bit, way too much. And she is very, again, hard on herself, and she often feels inadequate. When you got that Saturn conjoined to Mars like that, you could feel inadequate, especially when in Libra, you're comparing yourself to others. So K. Michelle, she only has her sun in Pisces. I don't know what time she was born, but she has some nice aspects. She got Sun trine Jupiter, which is nice. She got Sun trine her Cancer moon, Sun trine her Cancer North Node. So with that Cancer North Node, she's really trying to, with that Cancer moon and Cancer North Node, she's really trying to play up her femininity. She's trying to look as feminine as possible, which explains why she got the hip implants, the butt implants, the breast implants. I even think she got her waist snatched. But I think she probably started off with a decent body, But because she got Mars conjunct Saturn, that again can cause her to suffer from feelings of inadequacy. And then the underlying issue is the Capricorn South Node. Capricorn South nodes can suffer from feelings of inadequacy. Hey, C. Thomas. C. Thomas said her self-esteem is trash. I feel sorry for her. I kind of do too, but she is very cocky. Let's look at another picture of her. This one I call Beluga Babe because she looked like a beluga whale in this. Check out those hips. So again, humiliation. And also Pisces on the dark end can suffer from feelings of inferiority. They can have an inferiority complex. So let me see if her moon is in challenging aspect with anything. So her sun is, why I say moon, her sun. Sun is in semi-square with Venus. So again, that Venus is in Aquarius. Let me tell you what that's doing. That is causing her to be artificial. So Aquarius is that sign that deals with artificial. So she's creating this artificial look in order to have more of a sense of pride in herself, you could say, or for her to feel more confident in herself. I'm done. VR Gay says she's shaped like a tooth. Damn. Patricia, the Capricorn ascendant, said I have natural hips like that, but I hate it. Patricia, I'm sure your hips look better than that. That don't even look natural. Especially that one, that hip to the left. I'm like, A Young Soul said, can she run? I'm done. No, Aquarius is a sign that can deal with that which is artificial, that which is phony. Yes, that which is like automated, like that's robotic even. But hold on. Let me get back into her chart. So her Mercury's in Aquarius. And her Mercury's in quincunx with her Cancer North Node. So she could have an issue with seeing other women that are very curvy and her wanting to be like that. So she's going to do some things, make some changes. Mercury in Aquarius, make some changes in order to become more feminine looking. She kind of have a horse face. Where did that come from? She got Uranus in Sagittarius, making a sesqui square with her North Node. That's the changes she's making to her body as well. Did she ever have problems with breast implants? Hold on, let me go back to the chat. Did she ever have any problems with breast implants? Because she got Uranus making a sesqui square with her Cancer North Node. So that could point to either she had a botched breast job or she got changes to her breast implants. Susie said, my Mercury's in Aquarius, but all natural over here. Yeah, Mercury in Aquarius will play out differently for different people. But in her case, that's her making changes. Like the underlying reason is changes. So if some of those changes are artificial, then so be it. Because also you got to deal with Aquarius deals with high-tech things, technology, inventions. So a lot of, that Aquarius energy can make somebody drawn to things which are cutting edge, things that are inventive, things that are even on the future, like on the future side of things. So plastic surgery, that's like the wave of the future. You don't have to settle for how you look anymore. How you were born, you can change it. Yes, cancer rules the breast. Oh, thank you for confirming that, Andre. So Andre said she had an infection in her implants where she had to be rushed to the hospital. So yeah, that's what that aspect is doing in her chart. Problems with the breast, Uranus sesqui square, North Node in Cancer. She also has Mars and Saturn and Pluto all squaring her North Node in Cancer, her South Node in Capricorn. So that's it dealing with issues with her breast as well. Let's look at the butt situation. We need to look at Jupiter for that because she doesn't have any planets in Sagittarius. She has Uranus in Sagittarius and Neptune, but she doesn't have anything like Sagittarius rising. So Jupiter is in Scorpio. That alone could deal with getting butt implants, getting a fake butt, because Scorpio deals with surgery, Scorpio deals with implants, and then Jupiter deals with butts. But also, let's see what Uranus is doing as well in terms of her butt. Uranus is making a semi-square with her Capricorn South Node, a semi-square with her, what is that, Mars 15? Yeah, with Mars. So that could deal with her having to deal with an issue with an imbalance with one of those butt cheeks. So I'm thinking, and some of y'all might be able to confirm this, but I'm thinking that she really had problems with one of her butt cheeks because Mars is in Libra, and that could deal with something being out of balance with her butt. So probably one started well, she did push that one up. Both of them cheeks didn't fall out. It looked like it was just one cheek that fell out. So that could deal with that issue with the imbalance. Sarah said botched upper thighs that were supposed to be booty. I don't understand how a woman would desire to pay for that. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. Well, some women have issues with their body image, their self-esteem. And K. Michelle does have Mercury square Chiron and Taurus. That Chiron and Taurus alone can produce issues with a person's self-esteem, their sense of self-worth. It can cause them to be very superficial, even too superficial, where it will cause them, or I'll say it can cause them to do something drastic. Chiron square Mercury in Aquarius. Mercury in Aquarius is drastic, drastic change. Do something drastic in order to look better, or in order to enhance their beauty, or to become beautiful. So she definitely has self-esteem issues with Mercury square her Chiron and Taurus. With Mercury in Aquarius, it could have started with a friend. She could have had a friend that had a nice big old butt, some nice wide hips, and she might have been coveting. Matter of fact, that is a coveting aspect. Y'all know that term coveting. You know it's a sin, right? It's a sin to covet what somebody else has. She does a lot of coveting. And where did that was a theme of a movie. Because they were trying to figure something out. And she was like, oh, that was in Silence of the Lambs. Remember that movie, Silence of the Lambs? And when they were trying to figure out the serial killer, not Hannibal Lecter, they were trying to figure out Buffalo Bill. They were trying to figure out how he thinks. And Hannibal Lecter told, what's her face, Clarice. He told her, that's a very Pisces movie too, especially with the cross-dressing theme in there. But he told Clarice, he was like, what this guy does is covet. So he was like, that's why he'll like dress like women and he'll do all this crazy stuff. But coveting, that is what K. Michelle does. Yeah, you remember that Scorpio Forever, Buffalo Bill? Yeah, that movie is twisted. But I remember I saw it recently and I was like, it's not as good as I thought it was. And Jodie Foster kind of get on my nerves. But yeah, that's what K. Michelle is doing. She's coveting with that Mercury in Aquarius squaring Chiron and Taurus. This is like her saying, well, she was born with a big butt. I should have a big butt too. So I'm going to get a big butt, even if I have to go through artificial means to get it. Like squats is not going to do it. I got to get the artificial. Goodbye Horses. Was that in Silence of the Lambs? I know that whole title of Silence of the Lambs comes from because she lived near a slaughterhouse or something and heard them lambs crying out because they were getting slaughtered. Now, K. Michelle, let me see what else she got. She got Venus squaring Pluto, and that can deal with issues where she has these problems with self-esteem, so she'll resort to plastic surgery to correct that. And again, with Venus being in Aquarius, she's looking at her friends or her associates, her acquaintances, looking at what they got and coveting it. And sometimes Pisces can take the fantasy thing too far. Oh, and her sun is at the 13th degree, and that 13 is reinforcing that Aquarius energy. Again, the theme of drastic change. All right, what else she got? So again, that Jupiter in Scorpio, that's her getting the butt implants. She got Uranus squaring. Well, I don't know what time she was born, so that's not, I can't say if that's square in the midheaven. I already talked about the lopsided booty. Let me see. Neptune's really not messing her up, even though it's in Sagittarius. But it could be afflicting her ascendant, but I don't know, because I don't know what time she was born. She also has Mars quincunx. Oh, that's another self-esteem aspect. She got Mars quincunx, Mars and Saturn forming a quincunx with Chiron and Taurus. So again, because Mars and Saturn are in Libra, here she is comparing herself to others, being hard on herself, and that's triggering that low self-esteem, the issues with self-esteem. So yeah, it's pretty messed up that she has it like that, because I think she's very attractive. She don't have to go through all that to have, to appeal, have this certain appeal. All right, what song are we talking about? You said, yeah, that song during the Buffalo Bill dance. What song was he singing during that Buffalo Bill dance? Andre said it was her butt implants that caused the infection. Andre, do you do stand-up? Why it look like you on the stage doing stand-up comedy? All right, what else? Where are we at? All right, so that's K. Michelle. Who else I want to talk about? Did y'all hear about China? Let me bring in, let me see if, well, before we even get into China, I better watch what I say. But let's get into this little hot topic. And you really can't even say it's a hot topic, because a lot of people don't even know who this dude is. But some of y'all might know, especially people that are into fashion. So let me just pull up a picture of him, because he's acting like a real queen right now. Anybody know who that is? And no, that's not Jay-Z's daddy. Even though don't look like that could be Jay-Z's daddy or uncle. I think it might be. Jay-Z just ain't telling the truth about what, right? Don't that, I'm like, somebody lying about their family tree. Yes, y'all heard about his little scandal going on, his little GoFundMe account. I'm about to pull up an article real quick. So that's Andre Talley, and he was a big wig in the fashion world, big time queen, openly gay, and he was always like a diva acting dude. So when he talks about, like, when he tries to get this sympathy from others, I'm not really buying it, because I'm like, yo, you was rubbing elbows with them real uppity fashion type people. And you know how them fashion people are. Yes, he's a fashionista. You know, like Anna Wintour, you rubbing elbows with these uptight, uppity, think they're better than everybody people. And because they kicked you to the curb, now you want to be with the regular people. You want to be with the lowly peasants, and you want to get on GoFundMe and try to get some coins real quick. But let me pull up this. And trust me, I used to be fond of Andre Talley back in the day, because I was like, okay, he a brother that made it in the fashion world. That's not an easy thing to do. I'm done with you. Who just said he looked like he about to give birth? And he said he looked like he's about to, right? I'm gonna tell you, he has a digestive problem. He wears a colostomy bag. Now he is obese, but he also wears a colostomy bag, which is why he's always wearing those cloaks and those gowns and whatever them frocks. If you notice, every picture you see of him, he got some type of frock on, some type of blanket. He's always covering himself up because of that, mainly because of his weight, but also the colostomy bag. All right. So here's what's going on with Mr. Andre Talley. It says the dispossession of Andre Talley. I should pull his chart and see what what aspects is pointing to this. It says an attempt to evict the fashion icon shines a spotlight on some of the very blurry lines in fashion. And I should read it like this. Andre Talley, the flamboyant and pioneering Black fashion editor, who rocked the industry last May with his memoir, The Chiffon Trenches, in which he took pot shots at such sacred cows of style as Anna Wintour and Karl Lagerfeld, is back exposing parts of the fashion's muddy underbelly, albeit inadvertently. Since 2004, Mr. Talley, 72, has lived in an 11-room white colonial in White Plains just north of New York City. At the time, George Malcolmus, the former head of Manolo Blahnik USA, and Anthony Yergaitis, his business partner and husband, bought the house for about $1 million on the understanding that Mr. Talley would live in it and pay Mr. Malcolmus and Mr. Yergaitis money each month. Mr. Malcolmus and his husband called this rent, and the three men signed a 2-year lease to that effect, renewable for up to 8 years more. That lease expired in 2014 and was never re-signed, and the amount of money Mr. Talley paid each month varied widely according to his income stream. This broke-ass Negro then in November of 2020, no, I'm just playing, that's not what it says. And then in November of 2020, Mr. Malcolmus and Mr. Yergaitis filed to evict Mr. Talley. In late January, Mr. Talley filed a counterclaim saying he believed these payments were an equity investment intended to result in his ownership of the house. These cases were first reported by the New York Post. Having now paid $955,000, according to an accounting exhibit attached to the filing, Mr. Talley petition requests the house be placed in a trust so he could prove his right to ownership. Blah, 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 blah. Let's sum it up here. But as Mr. Talley's situation shows, such arrangements, always unspoken, help carve out a wider, slippery slope, and it's easy to lose your footing and slide all the way down to the bottom. According to Mr. Talley's filing, Mr. Talley and Mr. Malcolmus met 38 years ago through Manolo Blahnik, the shoemaker who had become close to Mr. Talley when Mr. Talley began his career in fashion, and whose work Mr. Talley effusively supported. In his memoir, Mr. Talley includes a photo of himself in a tweed jacket that was a gift from Mr. Blahnik. He writes as well that he never did a shoot without Manolo Blahnik's. Do you see, he is a snob in the fashion industry, so I don't feel sorry for his sorry ass. I really don't. These are people that look down on other people. These are people that like just turn their noses up and treat people like shit because they don't have on a certain brand and all this type of stuff. So yeah, I'm not feeling sorry for him. And anybody that's donating to his GoFundMe account really need to reevaluate their priorities, I'll say. Lil says some people don't like the commitment of owning a house. Well, you can't be a squatter, which it seems like that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to be one of them high sedity squatters. Dude, get your shit and get out. That's all you got to do. You making your shit look raggedy. Get your shit, and get out. That's what they're trying to tell him. That's what they really trying to say. He better watch it, because when you messing with people, you know, that are in the upper echelons, they can make you disappear. So wait a minute, somebody set up a GoFundMe on his account, like on his behalf. He didn't set it up himself. Let me pull this fool's chart. All right, let's see what his birthday is. Andre Leon Talley. Yes, darling, those shoes are horrid. They were in last season. That jacket is dreadful. What, you know, they love to use that word dreadful. That jacket is dreadful. Well, he's a 16, which is very much like Pisces, and 16s can get themselves into some hot water, just like how he is right now. He's a Libra, born October 16th. 16 is great for the fashion world, so he was born for it. And the fact that he's a Libra too, and with that combination, he is real high sedity. But you can't be too high sedity being a 16, because you can bring humiliation upon yourself, Like I was saying, the humiliation theme that comes with Pisces, he's living it right now. So he was born in 1949. He credits his grandmother with his love for fashion. Washington, D.C. And I don't have his time of birth, unfortunately. Unfortunately. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. So Andre, he had South Node conjoined to his Sun and Neptune. That combination right there, and it's in Libra. So South Node conjoined to Neptune in Libra. That's the situation he's in right now. Him putting his trust and faith in the wrong hands. And now look at you. Just look at you. So it's like you brought this on yourself because you thought that you was living in this fantasy fashion world where money came raining down like pennies from heaven, or money grows on trees. That's another thing about people that either have that 16 energy or have planets in Pisces. Some of them can be very unrealistic when it comes to money. Some of them can get caught up because they do like the handshake type of deals instead of getting agreements in writing, which is what I heard he did. Like it was basically on the strength of a handshake, and you can't be like that. Not even with people that you consider to be your friends. I feel like he had people that he considered to be his friends who weren't really his friends. And I did see a documentary on him, and he did talk about how people would smile in his face, but they would talk shit behind his back. Talk about strike a pose, right? But see, he was too busy buying designer cloaks and designer sheets and all that stuff for him to save money. So Mickey said, I used to call money magic money, aka overdrafts. I'm done. But yeah, Pisces got to be careful about getting caught up in a bad predicament due to not being attentive, due to not being conscious of what is really going on, due to trusting people just because you feel like they're your friends. Pisces can be gullible. 16s can be gullible. And again, he's a 16. He's a Libra. That combination can be quite tragic at the end of the day. It could deal with you living that high life, right? You a jet setter. You you amongst the aristocrats, because I call Libra the aristocrat of the Zodiac. So you amongst the aristocrats, especially with that Neptune influence. You just living a life, living in the lap of luxury. Meanwhile, money's just going out the window and you're not even paying attention. People are stabbing you in the back and you ain't even paying attention. Why does he have a colostomy bag? A lot of times people end up with colostomy bags because they had some type of intestinal disorder, intestinal disease, and they had to get some of their intestine cut out. And now they got to use a colostomy bag. But some gay men that are really into like heavy penetration, they might end up having to wear a colostomy bag towards the end of their life. But I think he's been wearing a colostomy bag for like the past 20 years for quite a while. And I think he probably was passed around in the industry. Let's be real. I don't think they would have been so accepting of him. And I hate to say it, but let's be real. He's a black man. He's heavy set. He's not that attractive. So let's be real. And we're dealing with an industry, and that Neptune could join to his Libra South Node can deal with where he faced a lot of humiliation and he dealt with a lot of shame. So, and like I said, I saw a documentary of him, and he was talking about how he had these really fake people in his face, and then they would turn around and talk shit about him. They would talk about his weight. They would talk about how, like, why did you invite that nigger to this party? They would talk like that. So yeah, he faced a lot of humiliation, but at the same time, he was somewhat delusional, believing that he was really accepted amongst that circle when he really isn't. He's still an outsider as he's seeing now. They want his ass out. They want your black ass out. That's how they looking at you now. You a black ass freeloader. That's how they looking at you. truth be told. So what he needs to gather up what little dignity he has left, sweep up the little crumbs of dignity that he has left, and move the hell out. Get your shit and get out. But sometimes Pisces don't have that dignity on the dark end. And 16s can be the same way again. And we're talking about Pisces, but again, he has that strong Neptune influence. Neptune rules Pisces. So Neptune is conjoined to his Libra South Node, which can, again, make him be very gullible when dealing with others, puts him in a position of vulnerability because he puts his trust and faith in others, and makes him live in this dream fantasy world like everything's going to work out in the long run because I got these people that got my back. Well, as you're finding out, no, the world don't work that way. So, yeah. Where somebody says some deep, dope shit right here. Annie, you said perfect opportunity to learn some humility. Exactly. And that is that's the other side of humiliation. Pisces deals with humility and humiliation. So like I was saying, if you're not practicing that humility, if you get out of hand, then you're going to be humiliated. So it's best to exercise humility or display humility than to be humiliated, right? He's being humiliated right now. And I'm sure he's probably like, I've been through this before. Hell, he might even be suicidal. He might be hitting the bottle hard with that Neptune conjoined to his South Node. But yeah, NYC said, that's sad. I feel sorry for him. It was all smoke and mirrors. I kind of feel sad for him too. But then there's another side of me that's like, but I'm pretty sure there was times when you look down your nose at other people because they didn't have on the brands that matter at the time. They didn't have on those Manolo Blahnik shoes. Like you said, you didn't take a photo without the Manolo Blahnik shoes. People like that a lot of times do have some nasty stuck-up attitudes. So when they do fall, I kind of don't feel sorry for them. So I'm kind of 50-50 with Andre Talley. Because again, when I was really into the fashion world, I did, I gave him that respect, and I was like, wow, he's somebody that made it in this tight circle, in that very superficial circle. And look, again, he doesn't fit the part. Even when he was accepted, and he still is in some circles, but I heard he even had it out with Anna Wintour, and you don't piss off Anna Wintour. Like, that's you being blackballed. That's probably why he being kicked out of this apartment now, or this mansion now, because he had a falling out with Anna Wintour, editor of Vogue, and she's been like the boss bitch of the fashion industry forever. So you have a falling out with her. Guess what? All the other friends are going to start to fall by the wayside. You can't bite the nose. Oh no, you can't bite the hand that feeds you. And that's what he did. He even wrote this tell-all book about how much of a bitch she was and all that stuff. And then you wondering why they're telling you to kick rocks now? Now you wondering why they calling you a black ass freeloader now? Because you done pissed off the queen bitch. That's why. That's what this is really about, I feel. And with Neptune conjoined to the Libra South Node, that could deal with him having secret enemies. People that are just out to get him. And again, people that are humiliating him behind his back. And he even admitted it. So yeah, part of me feels sorry for him. Another part of me doesn't. Scorpio forever said, hurt people, right? Tara said, exactly. Now none of that shit matters, right? And when you're all alone at night and all you have is some cashmere sweater to hold tight, I mean, does it really, was all that worth it? You being all about, everything's about fashion and everything's about looking the part, and, you got to spend all this money for these clothes and stuff. All that stuff don't mean nothing at the end of the day. And I think that's what he's really finding out about. It makes me think of that Harold Melvin and the Blue Note song. Where are all my friends? See, they don't make songs like that anymore. That's part of the problem too. They don't make songs that have a strong message in it that can really help people to make it through in life. But yeah, there was this song, Teddy Pendergrass, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, singing Where Are All My Friends? And basically that song was about when you was up, all your friends was like riding with you. But then when you're down, none of your friends are around to be found. And that's the message. But you don't have messages in the music like that anymore. But it's true. So he got caught up. Let me see if I see anything else going on. Oh, let's talk about that colostomy bag situation. That's because he got Mars conjunct Pluto in Leo. Now that Mars conjunct Pluto period, that could deal with him having a penchant for anal sex, and he is a gay man. So, and he seemed like the type that was a bottom. Now, if you are getting penetrated heavily or with, some big dick or big objects or whatever, you can lose that sphincter muscle, like where that holds you in. So, but again, I don't know if he just had an intestinal disorder and got some of his intestine cut off, or if it was a anal issue or whatever. But yeah, but that Mars conjunct Pluto is pointing to that definitely. And then let's see if he has anything in Virgo. He has Saturn in Virgo. Saturn in Virgo can produce problems with the intestine. Saturn in Virgo can even deal with where you have part of your intestine removed. And I believe that's what happened with him. So he probably got part of his intestine removed for whatever reason. Sometimes person, because they have polyps on their intestine and then they got to get it removed and stuff like that. But yeah, poor guy. And again, he had it hard growing up. He has Venus conjoining Chiron in Sagittarius. That's him living in other countries, traveling the world. But that Chiron influence, somebody said, hurt people, hurt people. And there it is right there, that Venus conjunct Chiron. That can also deal with where he is exceptional in some way. Oh, I know what that deals with too. That probably deals with I wonder if he also wears a catheter. And I wonder if he has, I wonder if he's a diabetic with that hookup. He definitely could be a diabetic with that Libra South node. All right, but on to the next one. On to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. When Jay-Z put out that song, I was like, that shit sounds satanic as shit. Who else thought that sounded satanic? That on to the next one song. Oh, we got another issue. Did y'all hear about, and this is also indicative of Neptune and Pisces, and this person, that they came for this person too. And he is a Pisces. So they did this right during Pisces season. And I'm just like, this is so Neptune and Pisces, and the fact that they did this during Pisces season. So let me just get, I don't even know what he looks like. They came for his neck too. I'm like, they coming for everybody. Is that how he look? That's a damn shame. All right, let's see. Some of y'all probably already wrote it in the comments. I'm about to see. That's not big enough. He did look like one of them crazy ass Pisces. I ain't even gonna lie. Damn, I can't even get this one. Hold on. That's a terrible picture. Hold on, it's coming. Here I am, RAW, a terrorist, here to bring trouble to phony MCs. All right, let's see. Get rid of this. All right, bye, Andre. All right, y'all. Now they coming for this man. Do y'all know who that is? Did anybody mention it yet? Lil said Jay-Z's in a cult. Let me get rid of this right here. Anybody know who that is? Well, y'all got to know who that is because you see the cat in the hat. Andrew Cuomo. Oh, Andrew Cuomo. Isn't he, didn't he have some scandal with sexual harassment and so? Yeah, they coming for Dr. Seuss now. And again, this is about this Neptune and Pisces madness. But again, they did this during Pisces season, and Dr. Seuss was a Pisces. So let me just read about what's going on with this situation. Dr. Seuss books are pulled, and a cancer culture controversy erupts. Now, they're trying to erase a lot of history. I hope y'all realize this. They are trying to erase history, y'all. And again, they're creating this illusion that things are equal when they really aren't. Things can never be fully equal. But again, Pisces is that all-inclusiveness, like come one, come all. Everybody we all can get along, but again, that's very idealistic and it's just the stuff of fantasy. But as you can see, Dr. Seuss being a Pisces, he was all about fantasy. Look at how his imagination just ran wild with some of these characters, like the Cat in the Hat, the Grinch. What was the other one? That elephant. What was that elephant called? Now, let me just finish reading. So the beloved author's most famous books like Green Eggs and Ham were untouched, but his estate's decision nevertheless prompted a backlash and raised questions about what should be preserved as part of the cultural record. In the summer of 1936, Theodore Geisel was, look, they don't have to break down this whole history like this. Just get to the point. Classic children's books are perennial bestsellers and an important revenue stream for publishers. Last year, we don't need to hear this part. I'm just trying to see. Basically, they're trying to say that, okay, Dr. Seuss is perhaps the most beloved children's book author to come under criticism for outdated and insensitive depictions of racial, ethnic, and cultural and gender differences. See what I mean about the all-inclusiveness with this Pisces? In recent decades, librarians and scholars have led a push to reevaluate children's classics that contain stereotypes and caricatures. Editions of illustrated series like Tintin and Babar, which have long been accused of promoting colonialist and imperialist viewpoints, have been withdrawn from some libraries following criticism that their European authors depicted non-white characters as savages. Children's publishers and literary estates are trying to walk a delicate line by preserving an author's legacy, blah, blah, blah. So basically, that's what they're saying. They're saying because some of Dr. Seuss's books were not all-inclusive, that they don't want to continue to put them out or publish them or whatever, which is just, again, the hypersensitivity that's coming with this Pisces energy is going to be too much to bear. And as Pisces starts to get deeper into the sign, like into the latter degrees, it's just going to get worse. Scorpio Forever says, so does that mean they will remove Whoville from Universal Studios? I don't know. Latasha said the characters were green and blue, right? Callie said, I don't know if it's because I grew up in a Spanish household, but I really didn't like Dr. Seuss that much. I know I didn't have, I think I might have had one Dr. Seuss book growing up. The Grinch is a classic, yep. The Black Crows was racist though, Walt Disney, yeah. The what were those Black Crows called? I forget what they were called. But yeah, they were there's a lot of racist cartoons from back in the day. But I don't really see them getting rid of them though. And the Cat in the Hat, that was just like some weirdo type of character. All right, now we talked about some of the negative stuff about Pisces. Just to make it fair, what are some of the good things about Pisces? Well, I'll start. Pisces is very compassionate. Pisces is very imaginative. Pisces is the most artistic sign you can get. A lot of times Pisces people will have talent in more than one art form. And a lot of Pisces are multifaceted, meaning they're both intellectual and they're artistic. You have a lot of Pisces that are into science and medicine. A lot of Pisces people save lives. Pisces is the hero of the Zodiac. Pisces is the savior of the Zodiac. Pisces is the superhero, you could even say. So when you see those Marvel comics, when you see, you got Marvel, what's the other one? What's that other one? You got Marvel and what's the other comic book? Well, Marvel and the other one that does Superman. That's very Pisces. Morphing into another character, that's very Pisces. Saving the day, that's very Pisces. Jesus Christ is very Pisces. Actually, the hypothetical DC Comics, thank you. Actually, I like Marvel better. That's why I couldn't remember DC Comics. Pisces is Jesus Christ, like I said. The hypothetical chart of Jesus is having his son in Pisces. And he does, the whole story of Jesus is very representative of the highest vibration of Pisces, being very selfless, making that sacrifice on behalf of others. Didn't Jesus sacrifice his life? And I'm not getting all religious. I'm just making an example about the high vibration of Pisces. If you want to understand how Pisces really gets down on a high vibrational level, read the story of Jesus. It's one of the greatest stories you'll ever read. You don't even got to be religious to get the meaning of the story of Jesus. And the story of Jesus can be found in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, right? Who are my religious people out here? Those are the books of the Bible that have the story of Jesus, correct? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, if I'm not mistaken. So read those stories about Jesus if you want to get insight on how Pisces is really supposed to act when they are on the highest vibrational level. Jesus was not prejudiced. Jesus was healing the sick, wasn't he? That's very Pisces, being in the medical field. So Jesus was a doctor, but Jesus was also a magician. He was turning water into wine. He took the 2 fishes and turned them into a lot of fishes so a lot of people could eat. That's Pisces all day. Also, just think about the whole foot theme with Jesus was very strong with the Jesus stories. Like, they was always trying to wash his feet. Now, back in those Bible days, their feet got real dusty and ashy. So it was an honor to be able to wash Jesus' feet. Because, everybody was wearing those Birkenstock sandals and shit. So, yeah, your feet got real dusty and shit back then. Sand everywhere. So, yeah. Just think about Jesus in terms of the high vibration of Pisces, and there you go. That's why that symbol for Christianity is the fish, ain't it? It's the same symbol that's representing Jesus again. And what did they say? What did Jesus say? He said, come. He said to the fishermen, didn't he say, like, the fish theme is so strong with Pisces and Jesus. Of course, Pisces is the 2 fishes, but that fish theme is strong with Jesus' story. So Jesus and the disciples, weren't they always on some boat fishing and stuff? And that's how he got his disciples. They were a bunch of fishermen. And he said, come, I'll make you fishers of men. And that is Pisces all day. And then remember Jesus walking on water? I love that song by A$AP Mob. We could touch the water. I walk on top of water. And what he said, he was like, Jesus, wait a minute. You see me on water, walking on it like Jesus. Yeah, that's my shit. But yeah, the miracles, very much Jesus. Magic, very much Jesus. The 3 magi that saw the North Star, very much Jesus. All that mysticism and all that stuff. Yep. Jesus was the man. I'm not too crazy about his father, but Jesus was the man. No, let me stop. No, I really question the whole concept of God and all that stuff. And that more so is Sagittarius. And I'm about to break this down too. So Sagittarius would be more so God. Jesus is more so Pisces. Now, Pisces and Sagittarius, they clash naturally. So just think about when Jesus was on that cross. He even lost his faith, or I'll say his faith was a little shaken when he was hanging on that cross for so long. I think he thought that the sacrifice wouldn't be too harsh. But that's why he said, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? And that's representing that square right there. Like, when you're in the throes of agony and you're just longing for death to end the pain, and you're calling out to God, but God is not hearing you, and he's letting you just endure that pain. That will make you question your faith, just like the story of Job too. But again, I'm not here to get all religious, but you got a lot of religious Pisces people out there. Pisces is the sign of spirituality, and Pisces will produce that devout religious person, the type of person that, says their prayers every night. Or if they're a Muslim, they bowing down 5 times a day towards the east. That type of a devout person. Devotion is a Pisces term. So Pisces can be very devoted people, and sometimes devoted to a fault. So Pisces, y'all, Pisces suns, Pisces moons, Pisces risings, y'all got to check that. Y'all got to check and see if you're being too devoted, because you could be too devoted and the person may not be devoted to you, or you could be too devoted to a situation that's just a lost cause. Pisces is also about being cherished. This is the blessings that Pisces has. So as a Pisces, and I see this more so with Pisces moons than the suns and risings, Pisces moons tend to be very cherished, whether it's cherished by their family, cherished by their mother in particular, cherished by whoever. So Pisces is that cherished sign. Pisces is also that sign that you want to protect because you sense that vulnerability in them. So a lot of people will spoil Pisces, will baby them. A lot of Pisces moons are baby. A lot of Pisces moons are very sheltered. Pisces in general can be very sheltered, but especially those Pisces moons. I always say with the Pisces moon, you can always go back home. Now, there's exceptions to that, because if your moon is jacked up, like if it's squaring Pluto or opposing Neptune, you might not want to go home, or you might, not like your family or whatever. But I've seen it where a lot of Pisces moons, they do have it real good with their family, where if they fall on hard times, they can always go back home. So that's one of the blessings that Pisces has. Pisces is the insulation. Let me just type that word in. Pisces is about insulation. Pisces will insulate you from the outside world. Pisces will insulate you from the threat of poverty. Pisces will insulate you from the threat of harm. Just think about Buddha, the Buddha concept. Buddha is very Pisces. And again, God is more so Sagittarius. Buddhism really doesn't have, it doesn't have a Godhead at all. It doesn't have a God figure, a divine being. Even though Buddha is kind of like the divine being, it's more so of a representation of how to live your life. But that whole Buddha theme, didn't it start off where the myth of Buddha, where he was insulated from the outside world, and then when he was finally let out and he was able to see the outside world, he was shocked when he saw all the suffering. Hey, Kritika. Kritika said, yes, Pisces is let go and surrender all the time. It makes me like, why? Yes, Pisces is very much about letting go, surrendering, going with the universal flow. Pisces is also about forgiveness. Sagittarius is about forgiveness too. Pisces is too, because both of those signs are coming from a position of having higher understanding of why people do what they do. And with that comes compassion. When you approach situations from a higher understanding, you can have compassion towards people, even those people that do you wrong. That's where astrology comes in as well, because once you understand what a person is working with astrologically, that can cause you to have more compassion. So for instance, Pisces is a sign of addiction. So with addicts, if you really want to help an addict, it helps that you have compassion, or else you're going to lose your patience with them. It requires compassion and understanding to deal with addicts, especially those hardcore ones. Otherwise, you'll give up on them. You'll get tired of them. You want to, smack them up. But no, it takes that. We could throw in sensitivity as well. But again, once you understand what an addict is working with, and this is again, I'm kind of leaning towards the darker side of Pisces again, but this is necessary to talk about. Once you understand what goes into making an addict, then you will develop compassion. When I say once you understand, I'm talking about on an astrological level, because it deals with Pisces and Neptune. Pisces is that sign that can result in you drowning. You drowning in a sea of your own emotions, or you're drowning in a sea of your own delusions, or you're drowning in a sea of your addiction. And when you're drowning, you can't save yourself, right? You can't save yourself from drowning. You need somebody to save you. And you need that person to be preferably a lifeguard. So if there's no lifeguard around, you're just going to sink to your death. You might as well say that's overdose or whatever. But Pisces is that sign that's very hard to overcome. It is that sign that is very heavy, but heavy in terms of like water weight. Like when you go into the sea, the deeper you go into the sea, the more you need that apparatus because of all of that pressure. So you're dealing with all of that pressure from all of that water, and it's hard for you to come up for air. It's hard for you to come afloat. Neptune does the same thing. Neptune will take you under and drown you in addiction, drown you in delusions, drown you in lies, drown you in fantasy, and you can't come up. It's going to take somebody else to have to pull you up. This is why most addicts can't kick the habit on their own. This is why most addicts, hardcore addicts, need rehab. And sometimes one trip to rehab is not going to do it, because that's how strong that Neptune and Pisces influence is. Just think about when you go to the beach, right? When you go to the beach, you don't even got to be in the damn water. All you got to do is be on the edge of that damn shore where the water is coming up, and you'll start to feel it pulling you out, right? For those of you who have been to the beach, been in the ocean, you know what that feels like when that undertow hits you, and that, or even when the waves come and it'll start to pull you in, right? That's like how Pisces works. That's how Neptune works. So again, for addicts, we have to show some compassion because they're dealing with energy that is very hard to overcome. That is like very hard to, like, I would even say the power of Neptune is harder to overcome than the power of Pluto. Like when you're influenced by Neptune, you are in like this cocoon-like state. And sometimes that cocoon-like state could be a good thing. And Pisces is dealing with being like in a cocoon-like state, in the womb-like state. And think about it. I was talking to my daughter, my Pisces daughter, about this. Like one day I was tripping off of Pisces. I think the moon was in Pisces that day. And I was like, you know how them evolutionary scientists say that all life begins in the sea? And I was like, it makes sense because Pisces is the last zodiac sign. And I was like, maybe that's where souls go when they die and when they fully cross over. Maybe they are in the sea or under the sea. And the Jews do believe in this place under the sea called Sheol, where the dead go. So maybe that's what happens to us. Maybe we basically spend our time in the sea and we're waiting to be reborn. And in that spirit form, we're in water. Water is a component to the spirit world. There's even this thing, and I don't want to go too deep with it, but there's this rule that exists. I already talked about the electricity helping you to cross over dimensions, but water will help it too. Water or some type of liquid or gooey substance will help you to go from one dimension to the next. And there's been like African tribes that have engaged in certain rituals where they have to jump in water and go underwater in order, because I have this book called Of Water and the Spirit. There's this part where he's going through this initiation. They all had to jump into this water. They had to go under the water to go into this other dimension. So yeah, so the water is very, it's a major theme when it comes to the spirit world. So again, just think about how strong water is. Just think about how strong that ocean is. Just even when you're on the edge of the ocean, and when that tide comes in and when it goes back out, it's like pulling you right out with it. And if you're not careful, you could lose your life just playing around in the ocean. That's why I don't play around with the ocean. I respect the ocean too much. I don't even really want to take a cruise because I'd be the one that probably get caught up in some tsunami or some shit. But yeah, Pisces is that deep ass sign. And again, it can result in existing in a cocoon-like state. And again, sometimes that cocoon-like state could be great, where you're insulated from the threat of harm, where you're like a prince or a princess. That's why I call Pisces the prince or the princess of the zodiac, because they are insulated. They're more insulated than the king and queen, because the king and queen, they still got to deal with the public. But princes and princesses, a lot of times they're insulated from all of that. But that can do you some harm too, because that makes you have a sense of, what do you call that? Where you're detached from reality. Pisces is that sign that's detached from reality. Lilith said the ocean at night is scary, just cold, dark, and deep, very ominous. And have you seen some of them deep sea creatures? they look crazy. Like the whole sea, like those deep sea creatures, just so Pisces. The shit don't even make sense. So a lot of things that just don't make sense, blame it on Pisces. Oh yeah, I've been to Hawaii. Those tides in Hawaii. That's why when you go to Hawaii, they have lagoons. Like a lot of those beaches, it's like they make a lagoon out of the beach because the tides in Hawaii are so strong, those waves, that if they didn't create that lagoon that is basically keeping those heavy waves back, people would be getting pulled out to sea all the time. That's why you got a lot of surfers in Hawaii, because of those waves. But yeah, just like water has a healing component, it can also be very destructive as well. Rashawn said a lot of the Disney movies are about prince and princesses. A lot of people have unrealistic standards when it comes to dating because of this. And yes, Disney is Pisces all day. The fantasy, the fairy tales, that's Pisces. Yep. And with Pisces, with those Disney movies, there's always the element of magic, isn't there? Anna said orcas are godlike. It's a shame what they've done to the orcas, all because of entertainment. Those orcas, they're very intelligent. Like when they try to get those orcas out of the sea, they'll all form a circle around each other and they'll start crying and stuff. King of Wands said rose-colored glass is Disney, right? Daniel said there's a thing in Florida where certain parts of the year there will be rip currents in the water, usually at night, which is why people swim at their risk. Yeah. Did y'all ever see that video of that black dude? He looked like he was on drugs or whatever, but he had tattoos all over his face. I think this took place in Texas. And he got into this water and there was a bunch of these other guys, they were filming it and he was drowning and nobody I can't blame them for not jumping in the water because they probably would have drowned too, because probably none of them knew how to swim. And even if you know how to swim, if you don't have skills like that, if you're not a lifeguard, saving somebody who's drowning is a bad idea because they can pull you down with them. That's Pisces too. So you think that you're going to save somebody that's drowning, or this could even be where you're trying to save somebody that's going through addiction. And instead of saving them, you become their enabler and you just go down with the ship with them, or you start drowning with them. But yeah, there was this horrible story. It was a few years ago about these young boys. I think they were teenagers and they were filming this guy and he was drowning and they didn't even bother to call the cops or anything. And one even there was one out of the group that had some compassion. He was probably a Pisces. He was the one that was like, yo, I think he's really drowning. Because they was laughing at first when the guy was yelling out. And that one guy, and again, I bet you he was a Pisces. He was like, yo, I think he's really drowning. But yeah, they thought it was funny. But that's that apathy that I talk about with Aquarius. So Pisces is the compassion. Aquarius is the apathy. So after Aquarius comes Pisces. After all that apathy, you need to start developing that sensitivity and compassion again. Or else this world will just become totally nihilistic and it will self-destruct. So Pisces, yes, is the true saver, and that's why it comes last. Pisces got to save all of our wicked souls. We all need saving, and that's where Pisces comes in. The whole theme of baptism. Think about baptism. That's Pisces all day. Think about, again, the strong theme that water has with spirituality. Lilith said people that drown don't make a sound. Well, this was when he was trying to stay above water. So that was when he was yelling. And he yelled one more last time, like he was saying help. And then last thing you know, he just went under the water for good. Pisces with pride said, I remember I was in rough currents and a riptide. Thought I wouldn't make it out, but I did. I was so small. I went too far into the water. Yeah, that water is no joke. And it's mystifying. Water is mystifying. I don't know if anybody else felt this way, but when I was in Hawaii and I was on the Pearl Harbor trip, that water in Pearl Harbor, oh my God, it's like crystal clear blue. And it was mystifying me. And I was so almost tempted to jump in the water and just end my life. Like, honestly. And I think, matter of fact, there's a disorder that deals with that, or there's a syndrome that deals with that. It can deal with either when people are like standing near like a large body of water, or if they're like on a cruise ship, or if they're up high. Some people just have an urge to jump and end it all. That's my real reason why I'm afraid of heights, because I have that syndrome with me. I forget what it's called. It's something that deals with being in the void. It's like you're looking into the void and the void starts to call you to it. So I remember I started to get a little scared because I got Sun conjunct Neptune in my chart. Neptune's only 1 degree away from my Sun. So I'm very Neptunian. So I, really try to be careful around water. But when I was on that Pearl Harbor little ferry boat, and it's so easy to just jump over and just jump into the water. And that water was calling me. And I got scared. I had to stop looking at it. Like, it was really mystifying me. Mickey said, yeah, I feel that pull. And that's one of the main reasons why I don't go into natural water, right? And it could be the healing component that comes with water. That's why we're drawn to it, like why we think about jumping in. Yudi, the model, said, think of all the slaves who jumped. I feel you. I would have been one of the ones who jumped. I would have ended it all. Yes, I would have. I would have been one of, I already know it. And maybe that's a part of my ancestry. Maybe that's in my soul somewhere, where maybe I did jump ship one time. Virgo Black said, never got the hang of swimming, even taking lessons. Lil said, I almost drowned once. I remember I felt very peaceful at the end. Felt like I was floating in space and the moonlight was penetrating the water. It was hypnotic. Yeah. Maybe drowning is not such a bad way to die. I mean, I know it can be painful because your lungs fill with water and stuff, but once you lose consciousness, maybe it's not such a bad thing. Anna said, my mother almost drowned due to a rip current and my uncle did drown. Damn. Yeah, that's rough. Scorpio Forever said, that's why I think it happened to Nia Rivera. She wanted to end herself. I don't think she drowned by accident. Yeah, I'm telling you, that water can be hypnotic. And people that have been at sea for a long time, they will start to kind of lose their mind, especially if they're by themselves. There's this good documentary called Deep Water, I think it's called. It's either called Deep Water or something water. And it's about this race around the world. So these sailors had to sail around the world and they had to do it by themselves. But this one guy, he was such a Pisces-oriented individual. He probably was a Pisces. I don't know if his birthday, but I think his name was Harold Messner or something. He sailed all around the world. And he would have won the race, but he decided to just sail again. He didn't want to have to face people. I was like, that's a Pisces all day. He must have had a stellium in Pisces, because he could have won and he would have won some money too and had all that acclaim. But instead, he loved sailing by himself so much that he decided to take another trip around the world back to back. I was like, yo, that shit is crazy. Hey, Johanna. Johanna said Whitney Houston died underwater, Pisces rising. Yeah, if you got Pisces energy in your chart, you could be in danger of drowning. Patricia said, I think dying by drowning is much quicker and less painful than being burnt alive and dying from your injuries. I agree, because you could still survive after being burnt like that and be in the hospital laid up for a week before, the universe decides to give you mercy. NYC said, I remember when I went to Jamaica and walked out to the boardwalk at night, I felt so afraid and like the water was pulling me to jump in. Yeah, that water be calling you. It's like a drug. It be calling me. It be calling me. Andre said, me too. As a Pisces, I had a drowning experience in a pool because I was drawn to the deep. Plus with my Neptune in the 8th house. Yeah, you was trying to end it all. Thank God, you was rescued. Shoot. Thank God for lifeguards. Now, my oldest daughter, she's an Aquarius Pisces rising, and she used to be a professional lifeguard, her and her cousin. So I was proud of her. I remember she called me up. She was like, Mom, I passed my lifeguard test. I was like, yeah. All three of my kids are pretty good at swimming. So they learn how to swim earlier than I did. Like I can swim to save my life, but I'm not too crazy about swimming, period. Especially in the deep end, because I almost drowned as a kid. And again, I have Sun conjunct Neptune. I have Pisces intercepted in my second house. So I really need to be careful around large bodies of water. But yeah, my Pisces rising daughter, she was a lifeguard at one time. And I was very proud of her for that. She needs to go back and do it again. But yeah, my daughter can swim pretty good. My Pisces daughter can swim. My Sagittarius son, he can swim pretty good. It's best to teach children when they're really young to swim. It's so much easier than when you're like a teenager, when you're, an adult. Sarah said being burned alive must be so much worse than drowning, right? Virgo Black said my son started swimming at age 5. Yeah, it's much easier for kids to learn how to swim. Susie said, I'm a Pisces, so I love the water so much. Yes, water is good for you. Scorpio Forever said, did you hear that China wants to start teaching boys on becoming manly because of all the gender changes? Oh, wow. I didn't hear that, but I was going to talk about the other thing that is happening in China. Did y'all hear about how they're making all the foreign travelers take anal COVID tests? And I shouldn't even say that word right now, but let me see if I can. I shouldn't even I'm going to just put test for foreigners because I don't want to put that A word and then some nasty stuff come up in these images. Let me see. For foreigners. Let's see if I can find a meme. But yeah, now they for anybody that's traveling to China, they're gonna have to get a swab up their butt to see if they got the ether. And I'm trying to find a meme. Let me put a meme up in here. I'm like, they messing with us. They are messing with our minds. Look, this is a good one. They are really messing with us, y'all. I think this is a big joke. Like the joke is on us. That doesn't even make sense. Oh, here's some memes. Hold on. This is a tame meme though. But yeah, this shit don't make sense. I'll be damned if somebody's sticking something up my butt to just see if I got a virus. But yeah, that shit right there is true. At first I thought it was just rumors, but it's true. China is checking for people, checking people's booty holes to see if they have the ether. Yes. They want a shit sample now. Because they said that the virus is easier to detect in poop than it is in saliva or, up the up the nose and stuff like that. What y'all think about that? Would y'all be subjected to the poop test? And who the one taking those tests? Can you imagine? That's why I'm saying I feel like this is a joke. I feel like they're trolling us. This is the troll of the century. Patricia said, I love hearing thunderstorms sounds. It makes me super sleepy. I used to be so scared of thunderstorms when I was a kid. I was a scary kid. I was scared of everything. Scorpio Forever said, there's not a reason for me to go to China, so I'm good. That's what I'm saying. Callie said, it really doesn't make sense, or they don't want outsiders coming in. Yeah, that's probably it. They probably are trying to dissuade people from traveling, period. It is humiliation. That's what I'm talking about with this Pisces shit. Pisces is a sign of humiliation. And now you got them sticking some long ass swab up your butt. And the person that's doing the swabbing, they probably getting their sexual jollies off of it. Because people are into all types of stuff nowadays. Probably got the dude just sticking those shit sticks in a Ziploc bag for later. Probably sticking him up his nose when he get home and jacking off at the same time. People are into all types of fetishes nowadays. That's another thing we could talk about with Pisces, that damn foot fetish. But Pisces honestly could be into any type of fetish because of the fantasy that comes with Pisces when we're talking about sex. So if somebody got Mars in Pisces, if someone that got Venus in Pisces, Moon in Pisces in the 8th house, you could be into some crazy ass shit, having sex with dolls and shit as opposed to real people. The whole robot dolls and stuff, the sex dolls, that's very Pisces. Cross-dressing, that's Pisces. Foot fetish, that's Pisces. Let's get a picture of that for a visual because I don't want to see this shit on a stick. I've seen enough of this. This is going to make me sick. I don't know why I'm... Oh my God, I can't. Will I get in trouble for posting this? I hope I don't. But y'all check this out. Check out what I'm about to post. Okay, I just saw some real gross feet. Since we talking about Pisces, let's get into what Pisces likes. Oh, I didn't open it. Hold on. Speaking of open, and to me, this is going way too far in terms of sexual fantasies. And this is some creep-tastic shit right here. But yes, stuff like this exists, y'all. This is if you got an extreme foot fetish. Y'all see that shit? Those feet are in some dark side of Pisces man's closet right now. No, not closet. They wrapped around his beanpole. Yes, Pisces and porn go hand in hand. Yes, it does. Porn is Pisces because it's films after all. And film period is Pisces. Movies is Pisces. So sex movies, sex films, Pisces. Y'all see that shit? Do y'all see that shit? Yeah, there's some dudes that just want to fuck your feet. Oh, you was gonna post that for Pisces season? I'm glad you didn't, man. It probably would have got that post would have probably got deleted. Somebody would have complained about that shit. It might have been me that complained because I don't like that foot fetish stuff. That stuff that creeps me out. Now, why would you want to do that? Don't listen to them say that's a problem. I agree. That's going too far. Kritika said, and people call Scorpio crazy, right? Right. Yeah, that's just going way too far. What is the weirdest fetish y'all ever heard of? And again, there's some real weird ones out there, but there's some weird ones that are not, what's the word, unheard of. But what are some ones that like nobody has heard of? I'm trying to think. What's the weirdest thing I've heard of that somebody was into? I know they did have that show where the guy was having sex with his car, like he was putting his penis in the tailpipe. I'm like, what did he have? Mars and Gemini? Oh, the feeder, the guys that like to make feed fat women food. Yeah, that's some creepy shit. And a lot of times the guys be real skinny. They be just skin and bones, and then the woman be like 600 pounds. Yeah, that's some dark ass fetish shit too, Scorpio. I won't post that one up there, but yeah, that's becoming more and more common. It really is. I'm getting these feet off of here. I've seen enough of this. Okay, what else do I have on my list? I think I'm gonna only be on for another hour because I gotta go. Y'all hear about Lady Gaga's dog walker situation? Let me put that up here. Y'all hear about Lady Gaga's dog walker getting shot? I was thinking maybe that was a sacrifice that went wrong. A botched sacrifice. Now it said that her dogs were returned safely, but Are they really investigating who shot this guy? And where is he? Is this the guy? This is the dog walker. And here's one of her dogs. It's getting hot in here. I am getting so hot. I want to take my clothes off. Oh, yeah. Summertime about to come early in Arizona. It's getting hot. So that's her dog walker, and he got shot. And I don't understand what's going on with this story. So y'all tell me, but I did hear it briefly in the news. So Scorpio Forever said it was a weird story because the guy is in the hospital. Don't listen to them. Said seems like the investigation was a wrap when she got them dogs back. Pisces with pride said, who gives a fuck about her dogs more than the person who walked them, right? I heard that people were more so crying out about the dogs than the guy that got shot. But that's the type of world we live in nowadays. Cali 92 said the rich area in LA is getting hit with robbers. Well, I guess so if they're trying to defund the police. That's also Neptune and Pisces too. Living in a fantasy world like we don't need cops at all. Get the fuck out of here. I'll be the first one to call 911 if somebody want to act stupid with me. Shoot, I like cops. Now, some cops I don't like, but I like the idea of cops. It makes me feel safer. So all this defund the police, again, this hypersensitive shit with this Neptune and Pisces, believing that you're going to live in this perfect world where everybody gets along. It don't work out like that. It don't work that way. And again, Pisces could be that idealistic sign that is not dealing with reality. Y'all, you heard of that feeding fantasy? Yeah. Also, the fact that people are putting animals before humans. That's Neptune and Pisces too. Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces is the zoo. It is the animal preserve. It's animal conservationist or wildlife conservationist. All that's Pisces. So with Pisces, again, things can go too far where now you're placing dogs above humans. You're placing any animal over humans. And some Pisces are like that. They take that love for animals a little bit too far, where they'll damn near get ready to kill themselves trying to get a cat out the street. And I love cats, but I'm not about to risk my life to save a cat. I might beat my horn. I'll stop my car and pull over. But if it's a 4-lane highway and cars are just zipping by, I'm sorry, I might say a little prayer for the cat, but I'm gonna keep going. But your Pisces type people, some of them will get out the car and damn near risk their damn lives. Some of them was to save a damn squirrel. So again, that sacrifice, some of them are willing to sacrifice their lives. Yeah, Virgos are big with animals too. So Virgo rules the small animals, Pisces rules the big animals. And both of those signs can go crazy over animals, can take it way too far. You'll have the Pisces that want to rescue all these animals. Next thing you know, they become an animal hoarder and they got dead cats under their damn couch. So while they have the best intentions upon saving all these strays, they end up contributing to the madness. They end up contributing to the death. Because again, what do they say? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. That's a lesson for Pisces to keep in mind, because Pisces is often guilty of that, having the best intentions, but it's sending you straight to hell. Drag me to hell. Matter of fact, that movie Drag Me to Hell is very Pisces. Remember that movie? Chick didn't get that woman the mortgage or something like that, or the loan, and that lady kept on coming after her. That shit was funny as hell. But yeah, Pisces be constantly dragging themselves to hell off of some good intentions, but them not thinking things through, being too damn idealistic. All right, what else do I have on my... Oh, what about this motherfucker? I don't feel sorry for him either. And I always thought he was crazy. But this was in the news lately too. He is crazy. You could just see it on his face. What is he, a Libra? But it looked like he got some Pisces. Is he a Pisces rising? Y'all can let me know. I don't feel like pulling his chart, but I might pull it up. But we about to just talk about him real quick. Do y'all know who I'm talking about? He was recently in the news. He done did some dumb shit again. And I think he has an issue where he was under mind control when he was young. And he's still dealing with the effects. Y'all hear about this? Tiger Woods in a single car crash. Crashed his car into a field. What does that car say on it? Looked like he was driving some type of company car. Maybe he tried to kill himself. Let me pull up his chart. Yup, Tiger Woods got into a single car accident. Nobody was involved in the accident but him. How do you end up in a field? But let me stop. I know somebody that ended up in a field and they got into a single car accident. So let me stop. It happens sometimes. Maybe he was drinking. Maybe he was on pills. But let me see what's in his chart that could bring about that crash. But he always looked like a disturbed individual to me. I would think you would have to be a little disturbed to be a golf legend. All right, let's see. Especially to be black. Having to face all that. Oh, don't tell me I don't have Tiger Woods' chart. I don't feel like pulling his chart. I'm going to pull it up on Astrology. And now he's saying he doesn't remember a thing. So he must have blacked out. And he is not aging well at all. Remember, he got caught up with those strippers. Okay, let's see. So Tiger Woods is a Capricorn, born December 30th, 1975. So he's my age. And let's see, his ascendant is in Virgo. He got his midheaven in Gemini, moon in Sagittarius. So let's see. He got Neptune in the third house. Hell yeah, he blacked out at the wheel. Could have been a DUI. When you got Neptune in the third house, you can black out at the wheel, fall asleep at the wheel, end up getting a DUI. He could, be under the influence with that. You said he lying. Mickey said, I think he was high on painkillers. Maybe. With that Neptune in the third, I wouldn't be surprised. But that Neptune in the third, in some cases, can deal with where he's under mind control, being brainwashed. I do believe that they do that with some athletes to make them like super athletes. He got Mercury in Capricorn. He got Sun square Pluto. So he's one of them Sun square Pluto individuals. So he might have had a death wish. He might be just tired. He got Venus in Scorpio. That's why he was always going after those hoes, even though he had a wife at home. He got Mars in Gemini. Boom. That's the accident Mars. When you got Mars in Gemini, because I got Mars in Gemini, and I've been in like 5 car accidents. That Mars in Gemini is no joke. You will be in at least 1 car accident. So okay, there it is, because he got Mars in Gemini. So Patricia said, I heard this was Tiger's 3rd car accident. Okay, I got to go easy on him now because I got Mars in Gemini too. And like I said, I've been in several car accidents. The last car accident I was in was very minor. But the car accident I was in, it was like 2006. I thought I was going to die. My car was spinning around. Like it seemed like it spun around like a good 5-6 times. And then it landed in some field, not a field, but like in a parking lot. Thank God. It was like that showed you the grace of God or the grace of the universe, because that car spun around, but it managed to land like in a parking lot instead of just staying in the middle of the street where I could have got hit by another car. Aisha said, Mars in the 3rd house, 4 car accidents. Yes, Mars in the 3rd is like Mars in Gemini. That can reduce car accidents. Hell yeah, you got to be careful. All right. Same with you. If you got Mars square Mercury, that could do it too. Callie said he's always in a car accident. All right, let's see. Let's see what else he got. He got anything in Pisces? Nope. Saturn and Leo. Yeah, we got some similar placements. I just don't have that Venus and Scorpio, thank God. All right, who else do we want to talk about? Now let's so we talked about a lot of the light side of Pisces. We talked about some of the dark. So now let's just make a little segue and let's, just call out some of these Pisces celebrities. Did I get everybody that I wanted to cover on my to-do list? Yeah, I think so. So Pisces celebrities. Let's talk about some Pisces celebrities. So we already mentioned K. Michelle. She's born on March 4th. Queen Latifah, Pisces. Queen Latifah, she got that secretive shit that Pisces be having. She has been secretive about her relationship for years. She's been with that same woman for years and never really has come out. Yes, Tamar Braxton, Pisces, never really came out. Tamar, one of them crazy Pisces. Rihanna, yes. Erykah Badu, yes. Queen Latifah has never really came out and said, yes, I'm a lesbian and this is my girlfriend. But, some people don't want to broadcast their information. Yes, Rihanna, Floyd Mayweather Jr. He gets caught up in fantasy. Yes, Jenny Aiko, Kurt Cobain, Pisces. He suffered from that whole Pisces, just that feeling of being lost and that despair and that jadedness with life, the drug use. Bobby Womack, y'all know about Bobby Womack? A lot of y'all young whippersnappers ain't gonna know about some Bobby Womack. Shira 7, yes, she's a Pisces, but I swear she got something in Aquarius because, again, she's very ruthless when it comes to getting what she wants. And she got that sense of entitlement, but she's doing the right thing with that Pisces because Pisces women can be taken care of. Pisces women can find a man that's going to do everything for them, pay their bills where they don't have to work. So she got it. She working that Pisces energy like she should. So I ain't hating. Bobby Christina, Pisces. Sly Stone, Pisces. Makes sense with his drug use. Let me see. We got Elise Neal. Remember, she played on All of Us. Elizabeth Taylor, she's been married like 7 times. That's scandalous. Elizabeth Taylor was scandalous. Pisces is a scandalous sign. Tyler, the Creator, he's scandalous. Pisces, and he's all drowning in his own Pisces imagination and music and stuff like that. And he on that satanic end, or at least he was. Albert Einstein, Pisces. Joe DiMaggio was a Pisces. Okay. Perry Ellis, the designer. You're going to find a lot of designers with Pisces energy. Chili from TLC, Daryl said. Who else? We got Harry Belafonte. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and we won't go home. All right. Day, me say day, yo. Dr. Seuss, I said. Karen Carpenter. We've only just begun to live. I love that song. White lace and promises. A kiss for luck and we're on our way. Oh my God, that song just tears me up inside knowing she died too. All right, Method Man, Pisces. Very cool dude. John Bon Jovi. Living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. That was the shit. I gotta sit up so I can start singing when I see some of these artists. Okay, Johnny Cash. Anybody in the country music know about Johnny Cash? He was a big time drug user, alcoholic. Dakota Fanning, Reggie Bush. He was with Kim Kardashian for a spell. Speaking of spell, Pisces. Justin Bieber, somebody mentioned him. He's a little suspect if you ask me, in terms of maybe he might be a female turning into a male. Ron Howard, remember him? Richie from Happy Days, but he also became a filmmaker. Don Lemon, he looked like a Pisces. What is he on CNN? That anchor? Yes. Drew Barrymore. Tina Marie, yes, Pisces. Tony Robbins. Let's put up a picture of him. Only because I'm in a roasting mood. Let me stop. I shouldn't roast him. But actually, he was involved in a scandal. A lot of these Pisces you're going to find get caught up in them span. God damn, look at them chompers. A lot of these Pisces you're going to find getting caught up in some real good scandals. So he was involved in a couple of scandals. One, sexual harassment. The other one, dealing with them big ass horse teeth he got. No, let me stop. Let me stop screaming. I am a little skeptical about Tony Robbins. I'm kind of skeptical about any these self-help gurus in particular. So Tony Robbins, has anybody taken his seminars that cost like $5,000 for 8 hours? Scorpio Forever said Tony Robbins is a scanner. That's right. Crying ass Terrence Howard is a Pisces. Now, that's one thing about Pisces men. They are not afraid to shed some tears, and some of them will do it out of manipulation. So Pisces men can cry at the drop of a hat. They will use those tears as manipulation, but sometimes they cry for real too. Do y'all see those teeth though? God damn, are those? What was that? What was that denture cream called? Mentadin or something like that. He got that denture cream. He could be a spokesperson for that denture cream shit. All right, Rob Kardashian with his soft self. He's soft on the inside and on the outside. He's just a regular old marshmallow. Harvey Weinstein, remember his ugly ass? He's in prison right now serving time for, the sexual assault charges. Oh, thank you, NYC. NYC said I look pretty in my profile with my baby face. Baby face, you got the cutest little baby face. Nina Simone, she was that jazz singer. I heard she was quite of a bitch. Kurt Russell, that's the man. Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York, Overboard. Steve Irwin, remember the crocodile hunter? Okay, animals. You see what I mean? Some of them Pisces will kill themselves trying to mess with them animals. Michelangelo, the artist that painted the Sistine Chapel. Seal, the guy that got them scars on his face. He sang that song, "No, we're never gonna survive unless we get a little crazy." That's so Pisces. Alexander Graham Bell, the guy that imagined that you could talk to somebody without them being in the same goddamn room. Imagine that. That takes imagination. Pisces. Who else? Lupita Nyong'o. Lupita Nyong'o. Did I say it right? Nyong'o. Also Alan Thicke, the guy that played in Growing Pains. Also, who we got? Joe Exotic, the animal guy. When I saw that show, The Tiger King, I was like, this is Pisces all day. I was like, this is some Pisces madness. Because like I said, Pisces deals with zoos, wildlife conservationists, animal preserves, safaris. You could throw circus in there too. Pisces is just a big circus where everything, the greatest show on earth, that's Pisces all day. Who else? John Wayne Gacy, the clown. Clowns are Pisces. Let's put him up. Now we get into the dark land territory. Richard Ramirez is another dark-sided Pisces, one of the darkest Pisces you could ever come upon. So we're going to first look at John Wayne Gacy, because he was a clown, and that's Pisces all day. Pisces is the clown of the Zodiac. And he was scary. Oh my God, clowns are just scary, period. And wouldn't some of y'all agree that clowns are like demonic? To me, they are like a demonic characterization. That's what I'll say. I don't trust clowns. I don't trust people in clown outfits. I don't trust Ronald McDonald. I don't know how Ronald McDonald got a pass, because that's a scary ass clown as well. So we're going to pull up this clown, this literal clown who was an evil ass bad clown. And what about that movie It? Remember the movie It with that demonic clown? The Joker, that's another demonic characterization. Yes, clowns. You see how evil the Joker is. And growing up in the church, I was taught that when it came to playing cards, first of all, I was taught that playing cards were kind of the devil, but especially if you played with the Joker. The Joker was seen as a devilish character when I was growing up. So it makes sense. And clowns, yeah, the clowns are devilish. This is John Wayne Gacy, Pisces. Let me see when his birthday was. He was born on March 17th. Let me see if I have his chart in my files. Prolific serial killer, one of the most famous. And he would rape and kill boys, and he buried them in his backyard. Sick ass individual. Can you believe they don't have him in the infamous files? This is ridiculous. And I don't feel like pulling his file. I wasn't even going to really get into his chart. I was going to get into Richard Ramirez's chart because he's hot right now. I think American Horror Story depicted him, right? I don't watch American Horror Story, but I heard about it. I watched the first season of American Horror Story, and then that was enough for me. And I love horror movies and horror shows, but that American Horror Story was just going too far, if you ask me. I don't take too kindly to people in the all black latex outfit where you can't see their face and like everything is just covered up. That shit scares me. I can't do it. But like American Horror Story has touched on some really like sick and twisted themes, and I can't get down with that because I also think about the people that write that shit, and I'm like, the people that write that shit, they're probably real sick and twisted too. Oh, I got his chart, and I got his birth time too. So John Wayne Gacy was a Sagittarius rising. That could deal with him being a fat ass. And then he had Mars opposition Sag ascendant, and that could deal with him looking for boys, and also him having this generous, fun-loving spirit about him that drew those boys in, that lured those boys to him. Pisces with pride said, I think clowns practice adrenochrome. So yeah, this is on some dark side of Pisces shit. So John Wayne Gacy, oh wow, this is a pattern with this. John Wayne Gacy had Mercury in Pisces at the 0 degree. That's some dark energy right there if you're talking about the dark end of Pisces, because that 0 degree leaves you open to any and all possibilities dealing with Pisces. It's like the floodgates are open with Pisces. Then he has South Node in Pisces at insult your injury. Then he has Sun and Moon in Pisces. Jesus, you can't make this up. Sun and Moon in Pisces in the 4th house. That's pointed to him hiding those bodies in his house. But also that Pisces, again, that's the clown makeup. That's the clown theme. And again, remember I said Pisces can drown in their own little fantasy world. They can exist in a cocoon-like state. And that's what happens when you're dealing with these dark-sided Pisces, because they are existing in their own little twisted-ass world, their own little cocoon-like state. And that actually helps them to get away from it, get away with things for a while. Because, again, they're in their own little self-created reality that makes sense to them. It may not make sense to anybody else. But remember, I also said Pisces is a sign that will insulate you from outside threats. Now, let's see if he has a grand trine, because a lot of serial killers have grand trines in their chart. Yes, John Wayne Gacy has a grand trine in his chart consisting of his Pluto, also his moon. You could throw the sun in there. Also his ascendant, and back to Pluto. So yeah, he had that grand trine in his chart, and grand trines are often found in the charts of serial killers because that grand trine gives them protection. That's also an insulator influence, where it will insulate them from outside interference, where they can operate as a self-contained mechanism and where they can operate undetected. So at least for a while. A grand trine is when you have 3 trines together and it forms this huge triangle in the middle of the chart. So you can't miss it when you see it in a chart. It's this big triangle. It's an equilateral triangle that consists of planets that are in trine with each other. Yep. Patricia said John Wayne Gacy and Richard Ramirez look creepy as fuck. Yes. And again, Pisces is the creep of the zodiac on the dark end. On the dark end. I don't want people to think I'm talking about light-sided Pisces. I had some chick come for my neck, or she thought she was coming for my neck because she saw my dark side. And I said I wasn't even going to touch this, but I might as well just put it out there just to reiterate what I always say about the dark-sided sign. So this earlier this week, some chick that, you know, she must be new to my channel because I didn't even recognize her name or nothing, but she called herself trying to come for my neck because she saw my Dark Side of Aries video. And you know what they say, it's the hit dog that hollers. So I must have hit her in a couple of places that hurt, and she came barking at me on Instagram. And I was like, damn, where all this come from? But I'm like, I guess you didn't see dark-sided. I guess you mad because you ain't dark-sided. I guess you didn't fit the criteria. You mad at me for that. I'm just like, why you want to be dark-sided? Because I'm like, if you see the dark-sided Aries female or the dark-sided Aries male, obviously it's talking about those people that are on the dark side. That's why I call it dark-sided, ED, with the ED at the end. I don't just say the dark side of Aries. I say the dark-sided, meaning that person has chosen the dark-sided life. And each sign will show different characteristics of that dark side. So that's all I'm saying. But some people still getting butthurt because they think I'm talking about all Aries. And she was like, all Aries ain't like this. And bitch, you went easy on Sagittarius because you are a Sagittarius. And she was even talking about my body language and the way I was moving in the Aries video. She was talking about, oh, you got something personal against Aries and all this stuff. I was like, damn. She all checking my body movements and body language. I was like, God damn. I didn't know people was analyzing me that hard. But I didn't take it hard. I just thought, I was like, you just don't understand. So when I'm talking about some of these serial killers that are Pisces, of course, I don't mean all Pisces are like this. I'm talking about dark-sided Pisces. And when we're talking about dark-sided Pisces, that's some of the darkest energy that you can get with. So when I talked about drowning in a sea of your emotions, or drowning in a sea of addiction, drowning in a sea of delusion, drowning in a sea of fantasy or illusion or lies, that's the dark side of Pisces. Of course, you got other Pisces that don't ever really have to worry about that stuff. But as y'all even confirmed, the literal drowning theme is strong with Pisces. You got a lot of people that got Pisces energy, Pisces sun, moon, rising, Pisces, Mercury, that have actually almost drowned. So you could take it literally, you could take it symbolically. But the main thing is you need to try to have some type of self-discipline, self-control, but it's not easy with Pisces, which is why Pisces is the sign of addiction. So with this dark-sided Pisces, this is a person that kills and then becomes addicted to the feeling of killing someone, which is why dark-sided Pisces murderers can be some of the worst. And that's why a lot of them will become serial killers, because they get that taste of blood, or they get that taste of how it feels to murder somebody. And then they become addicted to it and they want to do it again and again. And a lot of times they just want to keep on upping the ante and see how gruesome that their crimes can become. Now, did we cover all of the Pisces on my list before we get into this Richard Ramirez? Because I think he's going to be like the last on my list that I discussed for tonight. And then I think I'm going to close out. And again, if anybody wants a one-card reading, you can either cash at me. And I'm letting you know now because I am getting kind of tired. And it's Pisces season. That's why I'm getting kind of tired. And I got to finish some work. I got to finish the natal chart. So I can't be on too much longer. Did we mention Chuck Norris? Chuck Norris is a Pisces. Now, you know, he was that big action figure. He was a fighter, Texas Walker Ranger, and all that type of stuff. But Chuck Norris also struck me as being like this nice guy, this guy that's compassionate and caring and sensitive. And that's very Pisces. You also have, who else? Bernadette Peters. She looks like a Pisces. Did anybody mention Kat Von D? She has her own makeup line, which is very Pisces. Pisces rules makeup. Pisces rules costumes. Pisces rules pageantry. Pisces rules modeling. So all of that stuff, pageantry, modeling, beauty queens, all of that's Pisces because it all deals with like that fairy tale fantasy type of life. The psychic Edgar Cayce was a Pisces. So he was called the sleeping prophet. And you know, Pisces deals with sleep. So he would give readings while he was in like a trance-like state. Uh-oh, Angela said she been drinking more. Angela said she been hitting that bottle more than usual during Pisces season. What you drinking on, girl? What you sipping on? The last alcoholic drink I had was some Midori, and I might make me some Midori tonight just in honor of Pisces season. Anybody ever drink Midori? Y'all know what that is? See, I don't really like alcohol. I don't like the taste of it, so I gotta drink the cordials, like the amaretto sours, like the amaretto di Serono. That's one of my favorite liquors, and Midori. Those are like sweet cordial type liquors that if you mix it with like some ginger ale or some what is that called? The sour stuff. What is that? Sweet and sour mix. Yeah, you don't taste. Yes, that's that green stuff, Tara. I love that. I love that color green. And Midori means green in Japanese. But yeah, that's that melon liquor. It's good as shit. It tastes like a green Jolly Rancher, like if you mix it with that sweet and sour mix. Yes, Mickey know what I'm talking about, the Midori sours. Yes, I like amaretto sours. Matter of fact, since it's Pisces season, let's throw out our favorite alcoholic beverages. So mine is, I love amaretto sours. Anybody just drink straight up whiskey? Oh yeah, Walter Mercado, is he a Pisces? He was so famous as an astrologer. Wasn't he? Was he Puerto Rican or Mexican? I think he was Puerto Rican. Amaretto sours. He was the ultimate Pisces with those gowns and the glitter and the costumes. Let's pull up a picture of him because he was so glorious. And Midori sour. Those are my favorite drinks. Sidecar Hennessy. What's the sidecar about it? So yeah, he was from Puerto Rico. So let's now I gotta do my Puerto Rican accent. Let's look at Walter Mercado and let's just celebrate his life for a minute. So Walter Mercado, he was like so fabulous, so fabuloso, so angelica. All right, so let's see. We're gonna pull up a picture of the famous, the infamous, the glorious, the glamorous Walter Mercado. He was a big time astrologer. And a lot of, in a lot of astrology circles, they don't even talk about him. Like they don't give him credit. But he really brought astrology to the mainstream, especially like on Telemundo and stuff. Now, I didn't grow up watching him because I didn't even know about him because I'm not Hispanic. But in the Hispanic culture, he was a big deal. And yeah, he really brought astrology to the mainstream. And people love this guy. So you like Canada Dry, Patricia? Virgo, red wine. What was that? UB40 that sang that? Stay close to me. Don't let me be alone. Just stay here a while. That was the shit. Red wine. Oh, I sound like Robin Williams and Miss. I tried. Robin Williams, he's on my list for something. Oh, I already did him for Venus and Virgo. You like old fashioned? Oh, you like them old fashioned drinks. I heard of an old fashioned. Who's Stan Walter? Daryl said it looks like he pays for pee. Who you talking about? Walter Mercado? He gives very Aquarius. Well, he probably did have something in Aquarius, being that he was an astrologer. But Pisces makes a good astrologer too. And a lot of times, the person will have something in Aquarius as well. I did hear he was asexual. And yeah, I heard that. He really didn't have sex with nobody. He was more so into his gowns and his cloaks. And was Liberace a Pisces? Let me look up Liberace because Liberace had that glamorous thing going on too. I never tried a mint julep. Let's see. What was Liberace? Now, Liberace was funny as hell. They both have that same kind of vibe. Liberace and Walter Mercado. They're like one and the same. Now, Liberace was a Taurus, but he was a 16. And like I said, 16 is like Pisces. So you see what I'm saying? That glamorous look, the glitter, the sparkles, the gemstones, the jewelry, the coiffed hair, all of that is very Pisces, looking glamorous, just being like, looking like you just stepped out of like gay heaven type stuff. That's like very Pisces. You said Walter reminds me of James Charles. Yeah, I could kind of see that. I never had a mojito. I'm kind of afraid of those drinks because of the mint, I guess. What about so you like Moscow mules, Daryl? You like Manhattan, Scorpio forever? What else y'all drinking on? Orange triple sec. Damn, Scorpio, you got a lot of Scorpio. You ever be a bartender? A lot of Scorpios are bartenders, but Pisces is a bartender too. So that's a good profession. If you're a Pisces and you don't know what you want to do for a career and you like to drink too, just be a bartender. Who's Bad Bunny? Daryl said, I love anything with an alcohol percentage. Do you actually like the taste of alcohol? Because some of y'all Pisces, y'all just be throwing it back, shots and everything. Don't mind that alcohol taste. My Pisces daughter now can drink me under the table. I'm like, damn, and she just turned 21. I'm like, slow your roll. You just turned 21. So yeah, let's just give a happy birthday to my baby girl, my Pisces daughter. Her birthday was February 23rd. So she just turned 21. So, she really feeling herself right now. Yes, she's legal, finally. I should pull up a picture of her, but she might get mad at me. Let me see. Should I pull up a picture of the birthday girl? Where is one of her pictures? I got too many pictures out. I'm not going to do that. She might get mad at me anyway. But yeah, I'm so proud of her. She turned 21. She still looks like she's 16 because she looks so young. She get that from her mama. But yeah. And I spoiled her a little bit for her birthday. So yeah. And again, because she's my Pisces daughter, I'm like extra protective over her because Pisces just has that vulnerability. Yeah. And then she's so cute. She's so cute. She's a Pisces, and she one of them little petite Pisces that just look. When she was a baby, I used to call her Miss Pixie because she reminded me of one of them pixie little fairies. And so yeah, that was little Miss Pixie. And she still like has that little pixie look. She's like real petite, got a cute little shape. And what was I getting at with this? Oh yeah, but you don't want to test her because she got Mars and Aries, right? So she already got a collection of knives. She got like these hunting knives. She wanted me to get her a dagger knife for her birthday. So I got her a dagger knife that looks all ornate. And she wants to get a gun. So she's one of them Pisces that's about that life. She one of them Pisces that, yeah, you don't want to test. She look all sweet and innocent, but she got something for you if you want to come for her. She that type with that Mars and Aries, and I love it. And she got Moon in Libra, so that Mars and Aries helps her out big time. It toughens her up, and I did have to kind of toughen her up when she was young, because she was kind of a pushover. She let her brother and sister kind of take advantage of her kindness and her sweetness and her compassion and stuff. So I've always had to stick up for her because of them other two. So imagine you're a Pisces and your brother is a Sagittarius and your sister is an Aquarius. And you got that Moon in Libra. So of course I always had to have that circle of protection around her, but I had to toughen her up at the same time. And it's good that she had an Aquarius sister. Well, good in some ways. In some ways, it was kind of messed up because, you know, Aquarius can be a bully. But it did help to toughen her up. Having a Sagittarius brother helped to toughen her up. So all Pisces need some people that got some strong fire and strong air to try to toughen them up. Because Pisces, again, they could be vulnerable. They could be kind of weak in some ways. They could be gullible. And they could be taken advantage of, get conned, get scammed. You say, oh, I'm getting dunked on constantly. But yeah, but that's my baby. That's my, she's 21. She's been waiting for a while to turn 21. I'm like, now you don't got to wait no more. So now she's trying to get a car and she saved up a nice amount of change for that car too. Yeah. You ain't about to tell her nothing in a minute. All right. So last but not least, we saved the best for last, or you could say we saved the worst for last. Now we got 127 people in here. That's a nice crowd. So I hope the likes are rather comparable. So if you haven't hit that like button yet, please do so now. Hopefully you like what you're hearing. And we're about to get into this devil, Richard Ramirez. And again, Tara said, good thing she has you to toughen her up. You know I will, me being a Sag, Capricorn, Moon rising. Oh, yeah, I don't have no choice but to toughen my kids up. I didn't show my kids too much. I can't say sensitivity because I am sensitive to what's going on. But I wasn't the type of mom that was always like rushing to, you know, wipe their tears when something. I'd be more so like, hey, that's how life is. The more you get used to it now, the easier it'll be when you grow up. Like I was that type of mom, like tough love, but also I was the type that would get on my kids' level and we would just have a ball. And because I'm a big kid at the same time, I'm like half and half. I'm like an old bitter ass woman combined with a big kid. So yeah. So they got both. They got the tough love, but then they also got the fun-loving mom, the mom that's real laid back, the mom that's like, yeah, go ahead, y'all can do this and all this stuff. And yeah. But yeah, that cat moon don't play. That cat moon is a disciplinarian. But that Sag moon would counteract it. Because Sag parent, I said that Sag moon, my Sagittarius sun would counteract my disciplinarian nature. Because Sagittarius, they really don't like to have to discipline. They rather just have fun with their kids. But then sometimes I would have to put on that cat moon hat and get tough with them. But yeah. And then the Pisces, when you get tough with a Pisces, they always make you feel guilty afterwards. You always be like, damn, was I too hard? Was I too rough? Was I too insensitive? But let it be some other kid. You ain't even going to care. But if your Pisces child, you're going to be feeling guilty as shit, even though they did wrong. You still going to be feeling guilty for yelling at them or punishing them. You're going to be like, oh my God, like, oh, I'm hurting because she hurting. That type of stuff. All right, so let's get into this Richard Ramirez. It says stop sharing. I thought I did stop sharing. Okay. All right, where you at, Richie? And some women, you know, they really thought Richard Ramirez was hot. I ain't gonna lie. He does have a little bit of sex appeal in a crazy Pisces way, but he would have never been able to get me like that. All right, where is he at? Okay, I gotta share my screen. All right, last but not least, Richard Ramirez. He's a good case study in terms of how dark a Pisces can get. So here is the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. He was a Pisces born February 28, 1960. So let me just get my phone and read a little bit about Richard Ramirez for those that don't know. Yeah, Ted Bundy was good looking. Some of those serial killers are good looking, and that helps them to be able to lure these people. Now, Richard Ramirez, remember I said Pisces is a devout sign. When it comes to religion, Pisces can be devoted, very devout. So Richard Ramirez was a devout Satanist. He even carved a pentagram in his hand. And again, he was known as the Night Stalker. You know how they like to coin names for these crazy fools. Now, his birthday is to be, there's a discrepancy with his birthday. Some people say he was born on February 29th. Other people say February 28th. Astro Theme has him down as February 28th. I believe he was born on the 29th simply because of his story, his history, and the fact that he was breaking into people's homes. So let me just read a little bit about him. Ricardo Leyva Munez Ramirez, known as Richard Ramirez, was an American serial killer, serial rapist, kidnapper, pedophile, and burglar. Damn, he did it all. I guess the devil was proud with him. Now, his highly publicized home invasion and murder crime spree terrorized the residents of the greater Los Angeles area and later the residents of the San Francisco Bay Area from June 1984 until August of 1985. Prior to his capture, Ramirez was dubbed the Valley Intruder, as his attacks were first clustered in the San Gabriel Valley, and the Night Stalker by news media. Ramirez used a wide variety of weapons, including handguns, knives. Okay, this shows you the versatility of these mutable signs. Mutable signs, especially Pisces, can get very imaginative and creative when it comes to coming up ways with harming people, killing people. So it's showing you right here the different ways. And again, like I said, with Pisces, they'll become addicted to killing and they'll try to up the ante in terms of their murders. They'll try to become more elaborate with their schemes. So Ramirez used a wide variety of weapons, including handguns, knives, a machete, a tire iron, and a hammer, as well as satanic imagery. So he was using satanic imagery to really scare people. Ramirez never expressed any remorse for his crimes, again, because he's a Pisces living in that cocoon-like state where his reality only makes sense to him. So in his reality, he was within his right to do these horrible, gruesome crimes against people. Now, the judge who upheld Ramirez's 19 death sentences counted. He had 19 death sentences. I wonder if he has a 19th degree in his chart. I'm about to look right now, because degrees in the chart can also show you how many times something has happened with a person. So let me just pull him up real quick. Okay, he's not in my... He might be in the crime and infamy. Let's hope so. So I don't feel like pulling it. Ramsey. Great. Now I got to pull his chart. I'm going to put February 29th. I used to have his chart in my file. So let me just put him in here real quick. Richard Ramirez. February 29th. Let me just put the year in first, or else that 29 won't come up. So 1960 was a leap year. And that's how he was born, on the 29th of February. And that 29, Eileen Wuornos, the lady, the prostitute that movie Monster was based off of, with Charlize Theron, she was a 29 February Pisces as well. And that Pisces, that 29 can deal with high pressure situations. It's a pressure cooker number, as I said before. And it could deal with conflicts involving women, family, and home. And the fact that he was breaking into people's homes and raping them and murdering them makes sense with that 29. So he was born at 2:07 a.m. So let me put that in there. El Paso, Texas. And I've been to El Paso before. It felt like a little haunted city. I ain't even gonna lie. It's on the edge of Mexico. It's right on the border. All right. So what was I looking for? I was looking to see if he had the 19th degree in his chart, because he was given 19 death sentences, it says. So let me just save him to my files. Okay. He had a deep voice too, if I'm not mistaken. That was kind of scary sounding. 19. Okay, so he doesn't have anything at the 19th degree in terms of planets or house cuts. So let's move on with this story. Okay, so we'll see if any other degrees jump out. So Ramirez was convicted in 1989 of 13 counts of murder, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. So let's check for the number 13 in his chart. And 13 is a number of depth as well. So he doesn't have 13 in his chart, but he does have Pluto at the 4th degree. 13 breaks down to 4. Let me see. He had 5 attempted murders. Does he have anything at the 5th? No. And then 14 burglaries. Anything at the 14th degree? No. Okay. Early life and education. Real quick. Ramirez was born in El Paso, Texas on February 29th, 1960, the youngest of 5 children. His father, Julian, a Mexican national and former Ciudad Juarez policeman who later became a laborer on the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway. So he has Aries on the 4th with the moon in Aries. Let me see. Mexican national laborer. Laborer is very Aries. Mars, where's Mars in Aquarius? That whole, so it sounded like he was kind of like an activist. Mars conjoined in Venus. So his father was prone to fits of anger that often resulted in physical abuse. So Richard Ramirez's father is being represented by that 4th house. Mars ruling the 4th being conjoined to Venus. That can deal with an abusive father right there. And especially a father that just snaps on you out of nowhere. As a 12-year-old, does he have anything at the 12th degree? He got his moon at the 12th degree. As a 12-year-old, Richard, or Richie, as he was known to his family, was strongly influenced by his older cousin. This is where it all went wrong. By his older cousin, Miguel Ramirez, a decorated Green Beret combat veteran who often boasted of his gruesome exploits and abuses during the Vietnam War. So his cousin is being shown through that 3rd house. Richard Ramirez has Pisces on the 3rd. And his cousin would show him gruesome photographs of some of the murders that he committed. And Pisces rules photographs. So that cousin also introduced him to certain drugs. And that's showing you that Pisces in the 3rd house. So Richard Ramirez had his sun in Pisces in the 3rd, South Node in Pisces in the 3rd, conjoining Mercury in Pisces in the 3rd house. This is somebody that is just naturally mentally disturbed with all that Pisces energy in the 3rd, especially considering who he is. Now, you can have somebody with that same hookup and they would just channel that into artistic expression. Well, not Richard Ramirez, considering his background. So here it is right here, the Pisces influence on the 3rd house. He shared Polaroid photos of his victims, including Vietnamese women he had raped. In some of the photos, Mike posed with the severed head of a woman he had abused. Check that out. The severed head is coming in with Richard Ramirez, moon in Aries at the 12th degree. That's him seeing that severed head at 12 years old. Let me see. Mike posed with the severed head of a woman he had abused. Richard, who had begun smoking marijuana at the age of 10, he has Venus at the 10th degree, squaring Neptune. There's that drug influence. Bonded with Mike over joints and gory war stories. Mike taught his young cousin some of the military skills. That military influence is coming from that Aries moon, but he also had other military signs. He had Pluto in Virgo, North Node in Virgo, Saturn in Capricorn. Those are all military signs. So Mike taught his young cousin some of his military skills, such as killing with stealth. Around this time, Ramirez began to seek escape from his father's violent temper by sleeping in local cemeteries. That right there is pointing to that moon in the 4th house. 4th house deals with cemeteries. Does he have anything in Cancer? He has Cancer on the 8th house cusp, and that can point to him being fond of cemeteries as well because of the death theme. Around this time, I already wrote that. Richard was present on May 4th, 1973, when his cousin Mike fatally shot his wife, Jessie, in the face with a .38 caliber revolver during a domestic argument. So that's that moon in Aries in the 4th house again. And let's see what that moon is doing. So the moon is squaring Saturn in Capricorn. The moon is also opposing his Libra midheaven. Also that Libra midheaven, that's pointing to that military influence as well. So yeah, Richard Ramirez's cousin shot his wife in front of Richard Ramirez. Now, later that year, Richard moved in with his older sister, Ruth, and her husband, Roberto, an obsessive peeping Tom, who took Richie along on his nocturnal exploits. So he's getting influenced again by another creep, another negative, murderous, or perverted type of person. Richard Ramirez has a stellium in Aquarius, the sign of perversion. He has Mars, Venus, and Chiron in Aquarius intercepted in the 2nd house. So he basically valued perversion, you could say, with that energy. Now, Ramirez also began using LSD and cultivated an interest in Satanism. Now, that LSD sent him over the edge. That just fueled that Pisces delusion and that Pisces fantasy and the Satanism and all that. Mike was found not guilty of Jesse's murder by reason of insanity. Isn't that messed up? And was released in 1977 after only 4 years of incarceration at the Texas State Mental Hospital. His influence over Ramirez continued. Okay, I got to go and see what y'all are saying in the chat right now. Now, just think about influence. Remember the last live stream I did, I talked about demonic influence. So that demonic influence is coming from Richard Ramirez's cousin and also his brother-in-law. He was surrounded by demonic influences, but also beginning with his own father. So his own father was a demonic influence in his life. Then his cousin is a demonic influence in his life. And now this brother-in-law is a demonic influence in his life. Now for the demonic influence, we want to look at Scorpio and Pluto. Richard Ramirez had Neptune in Scorpio, squaring Venus and Mars. That's the demonic influence. He also had Neptune in Scorpio, making a sesqui square, what is that, with Mercury and the South Node. Both his Mercury and the South Node are at the 25th degree of Pisces. That 25 compounds that Pisces energy. And then he had Pluto opposing his Sun. Sun opposition Pluto can be a murderous aspect. It can either make the person homicidal or suicidal. So he was definitely dealing with some heavy demonic influences, but I would also say demonic possession and demonic attachment. I would say all three is what he was dealing with. Yes, 2nd house, stellium possession. And remember, I was talking about that Aquarius influence earlier, about how that Aquarius influence, that is that's depersonalized energy. So with both Aquarius and Pisces, you can access other dimensions, but you can also become something that is not human. Aquarius is an inhumane sign. Now, astrologers will say Aquarius is the most human sign, but it also has the underside of being inhumane. So Aquarius can become totally inhumane, totally detached from the human experience, the human existence, so that they can be totally sociopathic. Aquarius is that sociopathic sign where they could totally do something that's totally inhumane, where you're like, you even wonder, how can a human even be capable of doing such things? And that's that combination of Aquarius and Pisces. It's such, those two signs, again, they are high vibrational signs when they're good, but when they're bad, there's so much on a depersonalized level that it can turn a person into a literal monster. And that's what Richard Ramirez became. And then when he has that Aries moon just fueling that violence, the violent tendencies, growing up around domestic violence, Aries moon in the 4th house, having an abusive father, again, Aries moon in the 4th house. Yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised if his father was sexually abusing him as well. All right, going back to this story. So it says that the adolescent Ramirez began to meld his burgeoning sexual fantasies with violence, including forced bondage and rape. While still in school, he took a job at a local Holiday Inn. Now, the forced bondage is coming from his moon in Aries squaring Saturn and Capricorn. So that could deal with a guy that's into like bondage, tying women up, punishing them brutally, being very like sadistic. That moon square Saturn, that's showing that he's very sadistic. Now, while still in school, he took a job at a local Holiday Inn where he used his pass key to rob sleeping patrons. Now, you know, Pisces can be a thief. So he had the thieving thing with him too. His employment ended abruptly after Ramirez attempted to rape a woman in her hotel room before her husband returned to find them. Although the husband beat Ramirez senseless, he got beat a number of times. That's another thing. Pisces, again, when you're dealing with those two signs, Pisces and Aquarius, that combination, it can make somebody kind of die hard. Like you might have to kill them 3 times to really make sure they're dead. Like overkill type shit. And they can also engage in overkill, like what he was doing. Now, although the husband beat Ramirez senseless at the scene, criminal charges were dropped when the couple who lived out of state declined to return to testify against him, probably because he scared the shit out of them. Ramirez dropped out of Jefferson High School in the 9th grade. At the age of 22, he moved to California. Let's see if he got the 22nd degree. Now, that 22nd degree, that can deal with sudden death situations. It also deals with issues with control. So he doesn't have the 22nd degree. He has the 29th degree, which is reinforcing that 29 birth number. But he also has Chiron at the 28th degree. But that makes sense because the natal chart points to, it's like a biography of your life. So the 28th degree and the 29th degree being prominent in his chart is showing that he has 2 records of birth dates. Some people are saying he was born on February 28th. Other people are saying he was born on February 29th. I'm siding with 29 because Jupiter is at the 29th degree of Sagittarius in the 1st house. You know what that could deal with? That could deal with where he knows how to break into people's houses really easily. Number 1, because that 29th degree could deal with home. And when you got that Jupiter in Sagittarius like that, that's like the home is wide open to you. You know how to get yourself in the situation. But that Jupiter in Sagittarius in the 1st house, 29th degree, that's the bludgeoning. 29 could deal with high pressure situations, and it could be literal, putting a lot of pressure on somebody with some type of force, using a lot of force. And also that Jupiter at the 29th degree of Sagittarius, that's like going overboard. Sagittarius is the sign that will go overboard, overkill. Also, with Jupiter at the 29th degree of Sagittarius, this is him beating somebody over the head where blood is just gushing out. And guess what? He enjoyed every minute of it. He indulged all of his sick, twisted, demonic fantasies by killing these people. And he loved the sight of blood because that Jupiter is in the 1st house in Sagittarius. And he was a Sag rising. Guess what? Sag rising, just like John Wayne Gacy. Pisces South Node, just like John Wayne Gacy. You see where I'm getting at with these mutable signs? Mutable signs are prone to extreme acts of violence. I call them runaway trains because once they go on a certain path, it's not easy to get them to stop. Usually they have to get burnt out or they'll be stopped by some type of outside force like a bullet from a cop's gun. Oh, I got a good case study coming up, y'all. Dealing with some more mutable energy. Wait till y'all get this case study. Hopefully I'll be able to put it out by Monday. But yeah, so I got another example of this mutable energy and how it could get out of control. So Richard Ramirez was a runaway train on the path of destruction, just mowing down anything in its path. And he took joy in seeing people in pain. He took joy in seeing people afraid. He took joy in doing the devil's work. He's like that. Remember that movie, The Devil's Rejects? Some of y'all might know what I'm talking about. It was a Rob Zombie film, and that brother, he right before he bashes that person's head in, he says, "I'm the devil, and I've come to do the devil's work." That's Richard Ramirez all day. All right, let's get into some of these elaborate murders that he committed. On April 10, 1984, Ramirez murdered 9-year-old Chinese American Mei Lung in the basement of the hotel where he was living. And he does have something at the 9th degree. He got Neptune at the 9th degree of Scorpio. A lot of times a serial killer's first murder will be shown through a degree. So the victim, the age of the victim, that degree could be in their chart. Not the victim, the murderer's chart. Also, the age that the murderer was when they committed their first murder, that could be in their chart as well, per degree. Now, he raped and beat the girl before stabbing her to death and hanging her body from a pipe. This Ramirez, so you see what I mean about the overkill and just being extra elaborate and gruesome with this stuff. Now, this Ramirez first known killing, so this was his first known killing. So this is why that 9th degree is showing up in his chart, because, and it's Neptune. Do y'all see what I'm saying? This is why the dark side of Pisces could be some of the worst. Neptune at the 9th degree of Scorpio. Scorpio is the death, it's the murder. Neptune, addiction. Neptune, fantasy. So his first murder was of a 9-year-old girl. That's showing you that that first murder made him addicted to murder from that point on, and he became this runaway train again on the path of destruction. All right, let me read on. This Ramirez's first known killing was not identified as being connected to the subsequent crime spree until 2009, when Ramirez's DNA was matched to a sample obtained at this crime scene. In 2016, officials disclosed evidence of a second suspect identified through a DNA sample retrieved from the scene, who is believed to have been present at Lung's murder. Authorities have not publicly identified the suspect, described as being a juvenile at the time, and have not brought charges due to the lack of evidence. So his first murder was 1984. So let's see, that means he was what? If we're talking about 1980, he was 24. Let's see if he got the 24th degree in his chart somewhere. He got the 23rd degree rising, 23rd degree. So he could have been 23 at the time. So it could have happened when he was age 23, but it happened in his 24th year of life. So you see what I mean about how these degrees can point to important ages in a person's life? So I'll venture to say that he committed his first murder at age 23, not 24, even though it happened in his 24th year. So let me see. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. So he actually did commit it at age 24 because it took place in June 28th. So he would have turned 24. But maybe he started to really plot on like murdering somebody at age 23. Okay, let's see. Does he have any 24s? He has 25 in his chart. So that means that he might have started like killing multiple people at age 25. Let's see. Yep, I'm right. Age 25, look, he killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, do y'all see what I mean about these degrees? He got his Mercury at the 25th degree of Pisces, conjoined to the South Node at the 25th degree of Pisces. That's pointing to his age. So when he was 25, he committed all these murders. Maria Hernandez, March 17th. Cy Leon, March 17th. He committed 2 in one day. March 27th, Vincent and Maxine Zazzara. May 14th, Bill and Linnea Doyle. This is all in the same year when he was 25. May 29th, 1985. There's that 29. May 30th, 1985, Carol Kyle. July 2nd, 1985, Mary Louise. These are all these murders. July 5th, this is all the same year, y'all, age 25. July 5th, July 7th, July 7th, July 20th, July 20th, 1985, August 6th, 1985, August 8th, 1985, August 18th, 1985, August 24th, 1985, August 24th, 1985. Some of these were 2 people he killed, like couples, Peter and Barbara Pan, James Romero Jr. and family, Bill Carnes and Inez Erickson. Do y'all see what I mean about how Pisces can be one of the darkest signs? Once they get going, they become addicted and they can't stop. So yeah. Looks like a model. Oh yeah, you talking about them chiseled features? That's that Saturn and Capricorn. He got Saturn and Capricorn in the first house. That's why he had them chiseled features like that. That can, like, you can translate into it being a model. All right, now let's read on. On June 28th, so going back to 1984, June 28th, 1984, 79-year-old Jenny Venkow was found brutally murdered in her apartment She had been stabbed repeatedly while asleep in her bed. So a mutable sign, a lot of times, if they're a killer, they're not just going to stab you once. They're going to stab you multiple times. You know, like an Aries might stab you 3 times, but a Pisces will stab you 50 times. And that knife might break off in the person's chest. That's how crazy and extreme the acts of violence that these mutable signs can commit. Again, John Wayne Gacy, another one, extreme acts of violence, and he was a Pisces. On March 17th, 1985, Ramirez attacked 22-year-old Maria Hernandez outside her home in Rosemead, California, shooting her in the face with a .22 caliber handgun after she pulled into her garage. She survived when the bullet ricocheted off the keys she held in her hands as she lifted them to protect herself. Inside the house, her roommate, Dale Yoshi Okazaki, age 34, heard the gunshot and ducked behind a counter when she saw Ramirez enter the kitchen. When she raised her head, he shot her once in the forehead, killing her. Within an hour of the Rosemead home invasion, Ramirez pulled 30-year-old Cy Leon Veronica out of her car in Monterey Park, shot her twice with a .22 caliber handgun, and fled. She was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital. The 2 murders and attempted third in a single day attracted extensive coverage from news media, who dubbed the attacker, described as curly hair with bulging eyes and wide-spaced rotting teeth, the walk-in killer and the valley intruder. On March 27, 1985, Ramirez entered a home that he had burglarized a year earlier, just outside of Whittier, California, at approximately 2 a.m., and killed the sleeping Vincent Charles Zazara, age 64, with a gunshot to the head from a .22 caliber handgun. Zazara's wife, Maxine Lavinia, age 44, was awakened by the gunshot, and Ramirez beat her and bound her hands while demanding to know where her valuables were. So it just goes on and on. I'm not going to read about all these gruesome stories. Here's one of the more gruesome ones. On July 7th, 1985, Ramirez burglarized the home of Joyce Lucille Nelson, age 60, in Monterey Park. Finding her asleep on her living room couch, he beat her to death by using his fist and kicking her in the head. A shoe print from an Avia sneaker was left imprinted on her face. After cruising isn't that some Pisces shit? That's some dark-sided Pisces shit, to leave an imprint of your shoe on somebody's face. Again, that's taking Pisces too far. He returned to Monterey Park and chose the home of Sophie Dickman, age 63. He was terrorizing the whole neighborhood. Ramirez assaulted and handcuffed Dickman at gunpoint, attempted to rape her, and stole her jewelry. When she swore to him that he had taken everything of value, he told her to swear on Satan. On July 20th, 1985, Ramirez purchased a machete before driving a stolen Toyota to Glendale, California. He chose the home of Leila Neilden, age 66, and her husband, Maxon, age 68. He burst into the sleeping couple's bedroom and hacked them with the machete, then killed them with shots to the head from a .22 caliber handgun. Remember I said he liked to see the head with the blood gushing out of the head with that Jupiter at the 29th degree of Sagittarius in the first house? Yeah. Also, he further mutilated their bodies with the machete before robbing the house of valuables. After quickly fencing the stolen items from the Neilding residence, Ramirez drove to Sun Valley. So that next morning at approximately 4:15 a.m., he broke into the home of the Kovanoff family. He shot the sleeping Shane Long, whatever that name is, with a .25 caliber handgun, killing him instantly. Then repeatedly raped and beat some kid with the K last name. He bound the couple's terrified 8-year-old son before dragging some kid around the house to reveal the location of any valuable items which he stole. During his assault, he demanded that she swear to Satan that she was not hiding any money from him. Can you imagine the terror that these people went through? So when I say that he was acting, well, he was a demon in the flesh. This is an example of a demon in the flesh. He goes beyond being satanic. He's an actual demon. Like, he was possessed. Like, I feel like it first started off with demonic influence through his cousin. Actually, it could have started earlier than that, because Richard Ramirez suffered from seizures as a kid. They didn't talk about that part. I don't know why they didn't mention the part that he suffered from seizures, but that's that moon in Aries. Moon in Aries square in Saturn, that's him suffering from seizures. Let me see what else that moon was doing. Now, when you have some part of the brain, like I mentioned during the last live stream, when you have some part of the brain that's not functioning as it should, there it is. That's where the seizures are really coming from. So the moon square Saturn, that can point to where there's some issue with the brain, where part of the brain is inactive, okay? But then he also had moon semi-square Chiron in Aquarius. That's where the seizures came from. So when you're dealing with brain damage or a brain disorder, it's very easy for demons to become a host to your brain and to your mind. So he could have been demonically possessed from an early age even, but maybe he could have overcome it if he was around positive influences. Maybe if he would have got some religion in him or something. Maybe if he would have got an exorcism. But no, what made it worse was he was under demonic influence through his cousin and through his brother-in-law, through his father as well. And next thing you know, we're dealing with a real live demon in the flesh. And the older I get, the more of a firm believer I am in the demonic and in demonic influences, demonic entities. That's the only way you can explain how somebody like this turns out to be such a depraved individual. Again, somebody that's committing inhuman acts where you're scratching your head like, how can a human even commit such egregious acts? Well, the answer is demonic influence, demonic possession, demonic attachment. Lilith said they said his mom got exposed to toxic fumes when she was pregnant. Yes, I remember reading that, Lilith. I think his mom worked in a factory, and because she was, inhaling those chemicals, he probably got brain damage in the womb, which happens sometimes. So he could have had some type of congenital birth defect. And the fact that that moon is in Aries can point to some issue with the mom as well that affected his brain activity. So yeah, I would definitely say that those seizures probably came from him being in utero, being damaged by those chemicals. And guess what? Pisces rules chemicals. So him being a Pisces would make sense that, the fact that he had the brain damage came from chemicals. Pisces. There it is. Patricia, the Capricorn ascendant, said demonic influence attachment is real. Look at Anthony Soul. Wait a minute. Anthony Soul. Let me look him up. Why does that name sound familiar? But I got another story, like I said, that's a perfect example of this demonic attachment, demonic possession. Because again, when you're dealing with things that like just don't make any sense, like Anthony Soul. He was known as the Cleveland Strangler. Oh, I might want to do a case study on him. So Anthony Edward Soul was an American serial killer and rapist known as the Cleveland Strangler. He was arrested in October 2009 after bodies of 11 women were discovered by police. I think I recently learned about this guy at his home in Mount Pleasant neighborhood of Cleveland, Ohio. Wow. So he had 11 victims. I wonder if he got the number 11 in his chart. Probably does. But yeah, so I'm about to close out. I have been on for 3.5 hours, and this Pisces season got me tired out quick. You could probably hear it in my voice. I'm not even in my usual like upbeat mood. And this Richard Ramirez and John Wayne Gacy shit is bringing me down. I hope I don't have a dream about this psychopath tonight. But yeah, as I'll say it again. While Pisces can be one of the most beneficent, beautiful, sweetest, compassionate, empathic, selfless, charitable, just wonderful signs you could possibly have. Like they care so much. On the dark side, they are one of the darkest. And that's why you got to be careful. Yudi got a question. All right. Thank you so much for your super chat. So this is going to be the last question of the night. Just to let y'all know. Let me grab my cards. So Yudi said, do you think Pisces rules autism? A good question. My 12-year-old has sun at the 17 degrees of Pisces and moon at 15 degrees in Pisces. They want me to give him medication. I refuse. Am I wrong for not giving him medication? This is interesting. I'm going to pull a card, but I'm going to also give you my take on this. Astrologically, Pisces will definitely come into play with autism, but there's going to be other signs that come into play as well. Libra will come into play just because of the social aspect, where they have problems being social, or they could just have some energy conflicting with something in the 7th house. Taurus often comes into play with autism because of the sensory issues that come with autism. You know how autistic kids, they are hypersensual. And when I say sensual, I don't mean in a sexual way. I mean sensual, like their senses are heightened, which is why they tend to get fixated on certain feelings and certain touches and tastes and stuff like that, certain sounds. And that's why certain sounds will like make them like really, trip over stuff, like, really gets them irritated. Thank you, Tara. Certain sounds will get them highly irritated. Certain smells even can like set them off or trigger them. So Pisces can come into play. Taurus can come into play. Aquarius in some cases can come into play as well. Because again, those two signs, Aquarius and Pisces, period, they can manifest as mental health disorders, mental illness, and developmental disorders as well. So I don't feel like you're wrong for not giving him medication, especially at this point in his life, and especially if you feel like his symptoms are manageable, because I feel like they prescribe medication too much. But what I can do is I can pull a card to see. And again, I have to put a disclaimer out there. I am not a medical professional. So the advice that I give you is purely spiritual. It's not medical, but I can at least tell you what the cards are saying about, would medication be of help or would it be of harm? So, and it might even be in the middle. It might be where he might do well on certain medications, but other ones it's not good, or he might do well on a low dosage. But I'm a firm advocate on using medication as a last resort, because that medication can change your brain chemistry and it can make matters worse in some cases. Like I was talking about Brashear Gray last time I went live, and I found out today that he had been on medication since 5 years old. And when he got on Empire, he stopped taking the medication. His mother even mentioned it, because she was on a talk show. His mother even mentioned that she felt like he was handling it without being on medication. But then he started to go off on the deep end. But you have to ask yourself, is this a result of prolonged use of medication and then going off on medication? Or is this something that was just naturally in him, bipolar, that just gets out of hand because he's not on medication? So let me pull a card about the medication part for you. And I'm sorry that you're dealing with this with your son, but autism is becoming more and more common. And in my opinion, I feel that a lot of it deals with the increase in vaccinations, but some people would say no, but there is correlation. I'm not going to say, they always say correlation is not causation, but there is correlation between the increase in the number of required vaccinations and the rate of autism increasing. Now, I got 7 of Wands for you. You're going to like hearing this, because that 7 of Wands means you're doing the right thing, Mom. You are doing the right thing by protecting your son from some of these doctors that are just hell-bent on putting medications in your child. So 7 of Wands means hold up, like be resistant. It means even like to tough it out and see what you can do to try to rectify or remedy the situation before resorting to medication. That's like pulling out all the stops, exploring or even exhausting all options. Oh, you're so welcome. Exploring all options before you go to that last resort. So you're doing the right thing by resisting, putting up a resistance. That's 7 of Wands all day. And 7 of Wands means keep on doing what you're doing. Don't get weak with these doctors, because some of them might really try to lean on you. If you're really, standing your ground, 7 of Wands is that stand your ground card. If you're really standing your ground and you're against medication, they might start leaning on you and stuff. Don't give in. And again, make it the last absolute resort. So if you feel like his symptoms are manageable and you just need some extra support, maybe you need some extra classes for him or something like that, yeah, do that. But you're doing the right thing as it stands right now. So good luck to you. And hopefully your son can start to improve. And sometimes with autism, it's just a matter of growing up too. Like, not saying you outgrow it, but a lot of young adults, they are functional and they're productive adults even with autism. And sometimes, again, I feel like the medication just does them a disservice and can actually stunt their development. Lilith, all you got to do is, well, I can't say Google because there's a lot of misinformation out there, but there's information on both sides. So there is a strong correlation. Matter of fact, I did a Ace of Cups radio show on it. If I might have posted on YouTube, but I did the statistics because I'm a person that researches. So when I say stuff, I'm not pulling it out of my ass. I done conducted research. I done looked at both sides of the issue. So I'm not just saying something because, oh, I don't like vaccines and all that type of stuff. No, I've done thorough research on this. There is a correlation between the rise in autism and the increase in the required number of vaccinations. And there's a large body of evidence that supports that. So you can like do your own research. And again, I have an Ace of Cups radio show. Matter of fact, it was the Neptunian Generation. That's the name of that Ace of Cups radio show. My boy Cameron, he just sent me a bunch of my Ace of Cups episodes. So I might upload that one if it's not uploaded already. Check out that Ace of Cups episode because I quote my sources in that, and I talk about the research that I conducted that shows that correlation. But yeah, see, not everybody wants to hear some of this stuff because it goes against what they believe. It's called cognitive dissonance, which is why I will be putting out my Patreon account soon, because some of what I do talk about is controversial. Some people don't want to hear it, especially like one person in the comments. It wasn't you, Lilith, it was somebody else. One person in the comments on one of my videos, I think it was the one about Bashir, she was like, can you stop talking about medicine and science? I was like, what? I'm like, I live for this shit. I love science. I am a science geek. I was in gifted and talented in 2 schools. We was all up in science. I can't help it but to talk about science. I'm a smart cookie. And if you're smart, you're going to be into science, most people. So I can't help it. And astrology deals with everything in life, including science, including medicine. So when I talk about certain things, and again, I don't pull shit out of my ass and just make shit up and act like, I know what I'm talking about. I know certain stuff because I've done a lot of research. I've done a lot of studying, more studying than the average person, more research than the average person. So it cracks me up when some people want to, talk about, oh, don't say this or whatever like that, or you don't know this and all this stuff. And I even go through it with, my parents sometimes because, sometimes they believe some of the stuff that the media says and I try to talk them out of it. But, they don't give a damn what I think. It's all about what the media says and the mainstream and what popular opinion says. And, sometimes popular opinion is totally wrong. But because it's popular, people believe that shit and they don't want to listen to people that have unpopular opinions, even though those unpopular opinions are true. So the truth is very hard to deal with, especially during Pisces season. Because Pisces is a sign of lies, deception, and delusion. And I'm going to leave it at that. So if anybody would like a reading, you can go to my website. Here it is right here. And I will be at your service. So peace, many blessings to everybody. I will be back with my case study. So look forward to that. I'm looking forward to it. I also got that Venus in Libra video coming out soon. So that's the last Venus in the sign series I have to do. And I probably will start getting on my Mars through the sign series as well. I just want to thank everybody. I want to show my gratitude just for everybody that's been supporting me over the years, whether you supported me through Superchat, Cash App, just by being a loyal viewer. I want to thank everybody that has been holding it down for me in terms of my clients. I love all of y'all. Thank you, all the moderators. I'm just showing my Pisces gratitude right now, because I am very blessed, and y'all are a big part of the reason why I am blessed. And again, I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for all of y'all. So thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you all. Peace and many blessings. Stay safe and joy to the motherfucking world. I'm out.